Oh, you know what I love?
Sports.
Love sports.
Sports.
When it comes to Texas A&M.
Where are you getting this information?
Let me tell you.
Welcome to TexAgs.
It's here. It's time. There's always a buzz in the air when you hit this moment.
He is a guy that has gotten better and better and better. He's just got that dog in him.
We will develop men. We will graduate players, and we will win championships on the field.
I think of him as this hawk. Before long, he's going to be swooping in on those quarterbacks.
And they embody what the school is about. It's about getting into hard situations and getting ourselves out. It's about working hard. It's about doing amazing things.
And this is a real program. It's not fake. This is a real place. And if you want to be really good at football, this is a really good place to be.
You know, if I'm betting on anybody, it's the Aggies.
My prediction is that we're going to hear from a lot of the see, I told you so, Aggies. This is who you really are. Talk about the basketball team. Last night's game, not shocked. And not shocked because before the game, I would have definitely predicted A&M to win. During the game, I was there with my boys and Elizabeth, and I was like, yeah, I think we're still going to win. But I was watching the way the game was being played, OB, and I'm like, I don't know if we can beat this team because we're hitting all these threes, and we're barely up, and we can't get anything in the paint, and they're getting every rebound ever. Like the first half of the first half was just a complete annihilation on the rebounding end.
Yeah, in fact, we were all excited that, and rightly so, that A&M had 11 three-pointers in the first half. But it's not as dramatic and it's not as eye-popping. But Missouri had 11 offensive rebounds. Mm-hmm. And that their dominance on the boards was more likely to continue than, hitting. A&M shot 64% from three-point range in the first half, 11 of 17.
Yeah.
And you hope that they're going to stay hot, but so rarely do you see a team maintain, I'm not even saying that 64% clip, but stay at 40%.
Yeah.
And I think A&M shot 25% from three-point range in the second half. Still was a great game with a great chance to win it.
I don't think it's a good matchup for A&M. If you take away this game in the order that it was, the sequence, right, after the third straight loss, if you play this game 2 weeks from now or 2 weeks ago, I just don't think it's a good matchup for A&M. That size, right. You couldn't do anything in the paint on both ends.
Yeah, any team with size will give A&M trouble if they try to take advantage of that size. Again, I've always said that, and we talked about this before, when A&M almost beat Tennessee, I was shocked that Tennessee was so willing to shoot three-pointers and not challenge A&M inside.
Yep.
Missouri, it was clear their game plan was we're going to beat you at the rim. And they did. Now, look, again, it's only a one-point game, and you can point to several plays throughout the game that if you don't throw the ball away up for a turnover after a stop, or if you don't miss two free throws, they shot free throws really well, but I think they missed two at one point. And then a guy from Missouri kind of, throws up a prayer and
those
it goes
5 points to me are a big part of why they lost the game.
Right. And then there at the end, Rylan Griffin shoots a three. Mm-hmm. Didn't have to. There's still 8 seconds left on the shot clock with about 40 seconds to go. But if he makes it, you probably nail down the win. And it was so close. I mean, it hit the back iron and bounced around the rim. It might go, might not, and it came off. It was that close. So is it the kind of game that if you played 10 times, you probably win 5 of them? Yeah, probably. They play different styles, but ultimately they're pretty even.
I thought,
obviously,
for me, and I know that it was Pierce who had the stats, but I thought the best player in the game was Barrett.
Barrett was really good, the point guard for.
He made most of his shots. I think it was 8 of 13. He hit his only three, which was that awkward three you were talking about, where he kind of just threw it up and it went in.
Banked it in, right?
Yeah, banked it in. He had how many assists he had? He only had 4 assists, 2 turnovers, but he just seemed like he controlled the tempo, the energy. He was just solid. And then you throw in their big guys. Like anytime the ball was around the rim, they just bing, popped it in.
Phillips and again Pierce and then Mitchell. Look, they're bigger than A&M, and they were able to capitalize on that size when it mattered most.
Yep.
Because it comes down to Rashawn Agee trying to get a shot. And I was talking to Cooper earlier. He said, had there been more time, Cooper made the point. He said, there'd been more time on the shot clock, said 3.9 seconds when they inbounded. Rashawn Agee probably finds a way to maneuver his way for a better shot, but he didn't have a lot of time, and here he is trying to work against a guy who's taller than him. Now, he'd beat him a lot earlier, but and he just didn't have enough time to try to create some space, and he had to put up an awkward shot, and it got blocked. So.
Yeah, Agee, not a great first half. Really, really, really solid second half. Clements, though, I hate to waste that effort without getting a W. What was he, 8 of 10?
Yeah, and he had several three-pointers. I can't remember exactly how many, but, he was involved. I don't know whose fault it was. I'm not casting blame. I'm just saying that he was kind of involved in the last play that Missouri made for the winning basket. And he's up a little bit short of the free throw line on defense. I think he's trying to keep his eye on Phillips, who kind of comes around a screen. And so this guy from Missouri is able to screen Rylan Griffin, who was guarding the other guy. I'm trying to remember who it was. I can't think of it right now. And then basically he was able to pick two guys. And Griffin comes off, fights off the screen. He's actually being held, but he comes off and he tries to break it up, but he's kind of late. Plus, he's 6'5".
Yeah.
So, it was a well-designed play by Missouri, and they executed it well.
A&M did not have a bunch of turnovers. They only had 9. I say only 9, but a lot of them were they were just so careless early. The first 3 of the game, in the first 3 minutes, I think it was and then the Jamie Vincent one that you alluded to earlier, where A&M got the stop, and immediately he throws it out of bounds to the left, or I guess to his left. There was just characteristic turnovers in that game, even though the number wasn't huge. Both teams had 9. But that was an advantage you thought A&M was going to have. So if Missouri was going to have the rebounding advantage, A&M, you would think, would have the forcing turnovers advantage, and they both had 9.
Right, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, Missouri had 16. I might be off on this one or two, but I think they had 16 points off turnovers, and A&M had 11. And A&M needed that to be transposed.
So I was thinking the exact same thing Bucky McMillan was thinking, and I think you were thinking the same thing at half, buddy, we're up, but it doesn't feel like we're going to win, or it doesn't seem sustainable the way we're up.
Yeah, I even said that to Luke, was sitting to my right. I was like, I don't know if I feel good about this. If you go out and shoot three-pointers like that, you feel like you should have a 10 to 15-point lead.
Well, how much was it, the South Carolina game where they hit 10 or 11 in the first half? I can't remember which game it was.
I can't even remember.
But they were up 18, right? That's what you expect to be up by.
And they couldn't get, huge separation, even though it was shooting like that. And, they came back. It'd have been an easy story to write. Yeah. Because they had that struggle from the three-point line at Florida, and now it's like, hey, we've got that figured out, and they're lighting it up. But to only be up 5, you're thinking, again, it's a whole lot more sustainable what Missouri was doing than what A&M was doing, and that proved to be the case and proved to be the difference.
So I don't know if I'm to be blamed at what happened last night. A good friend of mine gave me great seats yesterday. I got to sit courtside. It was awesome.
Nice.
I took my boys and Elizabeth. And the whole plan was always to leave with about 10 minutes left. Cruz still had to study for a test today, and he wasn't sure he could go. I was like, we're going to go. I'll get you home by 10:30. That was the plan, okay? We're going to leave with the 10-minute mark. We ended up leaving at the 8-minute mark. So we watched and listened to the game on the way home. But at that point is where Missouri took the 8-point lead. And you're like, So as we're walking to the cars, when A&M makes a nice little comeback, and I'm like, oh, should I go back? Should I not? Maybe had I gone back, A&M wins the game. It doesn't work like that, but we like to feel like we have some kind of control over it.
Hey, I'm all for any kind of positive mojo you can get, right? Look, I can't feel angry.
No.
It was a heck of a game, and it's okay to be disappointed. I can't go out and point fingers at anybody because there were so many people that made plays and so many that, made a mistake here, but you can't expect everybody to be perfect. It came down to differences, one play. And
yeah. Well, now you're not a lock for the tournament, right?
You're not. In fact, I was looking at the net rankings on NCAA.com this morning, and A&M is now 42. They dropped 7 spots.
So I don't want to say Vanderbilt's a must-win. Must-win to make me feel good, because a road game on the road, obviously it's a road game, on the road against a ranked team, huge opportunity for A&M to stop the bleeding. Huge opportunity. You do not want to lose 4 in a row.
Obviously, they're 0 for February, and you got to get that February win and then get on a winning streak again and show that you are the team that, you convince people that you are.
I think you and I are on the same page on this. The team that I saw play yesterday, and maybe the team against Florida, and maybe the team against Alabama, okay, these losses here, are who I thought A&M was going to be. What I mean by that, not a disrespect, I did not expect them midway through the season to be in first place of the SEC. I thought they were going to win some games, surprise some people, be a really nice story in the SEC, but their size would catch up with them. For the first part of the year, that really wasn't the case. These last few games feels like that's what they were. Now let's see if they can go back to what they were at the beginning of this SEC season.
They've already exceeded my expectation. If I would have, the early games really don't matter to me because most of them were against teams that anybody in the SEC should beat. So I was basing everything on the SEC, and I remember saying, hey, if you put the under over at, say, 5.5, I'm not sure which I'd take. I might take the under because of the reasons you just said.
Right.
And then you lose Mbako, right? So there was no reason, there was no good reason to think, okay, this team's going to be that good. And yeah, they've had a 3-game losing streak. One of them was, one of them they got blown out by the defending national champions. Okay. But now 2 of them are 1-possession games.
Yep.
And in both of them, you had a chance to nail it down. And I think in both of them, you might have missed 3s late. So,
and if you go back to, again, if their seeding takes a plummet, if they don't make the tournament, you're going to look back at the Tennessee game at the end. Yeah. You're going to look back at these couple games. And I'm sure there's games there are games that A&M won late. The Auburn game, right? So that, it has worked in their favor as well.
Yeah, it has.
But that Auburn game was a millisecond away from being a loss.
He was still late. He was.
Yeah.
I think that was a clock operator that was trying to give him a hometown discount for Auburn. Remember that? It didn't start right away. But
by the way, I think, am I wrong here? I don't know. I wasn't listening to the broadcast. I was watching the game. At the half, there was 1.3 seconds left where A&M got the ball, but there was a shot clock violation by Missouri. I felt like they should have had 3 or 4 seconds.
I thought so too.
The ball was in his hand with 4.3 left when the shot clock went off. But
I know that they were asking for it, right, Nick? They were like,
they were asking for it, but obviously
that was wrong.
Yeah, I was kind of scratching my head on that. And I said, well, look, I've got one of the worst seats in the house where they put the media now.
Right.
So I can't really see enough to say, hey, this was egregiously wrong officiating call, and Pat Adams was out there, so anything was possible. But yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I just thought, oh, okay, I guess I missed something.
Oh man, that one's gonna hurt. But they're all gonna hurt. This is TexAgs Live, OB.
TexAgs Live, brought to you by David Gardner's Jewelers
in the Rollo Insurance Studio.
Jason, Jackson, Keith, and Morgan.
The boys.
And the family.
And the family. Oh, new twist.
Yeah.
New shirt. Rollo Insurance. The family. And we call this hour the Go Hour.
Brought to you by the Warehouse at CC Creations.
And currently, we're just sitting like 2 old men on the porch at the
Holistic Planning cool zone.
So good to live holistically and also make sure your investments are taken care of.
Yeah, making money. Got to have it.
You do that all the time, right?
Yeah, I'm usually doing it like this, giving it to somebody else.
And if you want to be a part of the conversation, call us up on the Buffy's Catering and Bartending
Hotline.
That number?
979-693-1150.
And if you want to text the show, you can text us on the Catalyst Pure Performance Energy.
I was trying to pause for dramatic effect.
My bad.
Yeah, it's same number.
PPE.
PPE. See, you've messed up my mojo.
I flustered you.
797-693. I'm sorry. 979-693-1150. Same number.
979-693-1150. We go around the room. We go left to right. We go through the television. Okay?
Okay, all right.
Through the television into the other room.
Which has glass in it.
Well, is it glass?
I don't know.
Plexiglass? I don't know what kind of glass it is.
It looks more like glass than all this other stuff.
Nick Savage is there. Hello, Nick.
I am. Hi, y'all. I just don't know, and obviously I'm not the basketball guy in the building here. That's OB and Luke and maybe even Cooper outside of his LeBron take. But how do you remedy like being undersized? Because it's obviously
play small teams.
Well, yeah, but I mean, is there anything else strategically that they could do? Just because
am I right?
It seems like they just can't do anything when they're outsized.
Well, I mean, the game goes 10 more seconds, maybe A&M wins. So there's that. But the two biggest teams in the SEC are Florida and Missouri, right?
Yeah.
So you got that out of the way. So now it's just smooth sailing. How big is Vanderbilt? Anybody know?
I'm looking at their roster as we speak, and again, I don't know how they compare to anyone else, but they got a 6'11" guy that plays frequently.
I like that.
Yeah.
You got the guy named Nickel who's pretty good.
Yeah, I'd prefer the tall people to sit at home and just watch. That'd be great.
A&M has some height. They just don't play.
Yeah, because the style of, I thought Jamie Vincent had a good first half hit. When he hit that three, I was like, what?
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if, good shot.
and Federico came in a couple different times.
Yeah, he probably had about, 3 minutes, maybe less of playing time.
Anyway, let's go to Cooper Patterson at the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. For what I understand, he's broken records at Pop-A-Shot. Have you played Pop-A-Shot here at TexAgs yet?
Not competitively. I just go in there for fun, and I'm retired.
I haven't played yet because I have a policy. Nick, you want to tell the people what my policy is?
If you can't play defense, you're not going to play.
Yeah. I mean, if I can't cover you, I'm not playing Pop-A-Shot. I'm not there to shoot.
To be fair, David, your leadership has worn off. That your mentality defensively for your try-hardness has rubbed off on Richard Zane, Cooper, Luke. They all try so hard, and Callie. They all try so hard, and it's just not fun for the hard workers like me and Kay.
What do you mean? It's got to be the best thing because they're getting the best out of you, buddy.
No, not really.
All right,
Cooper, speak for yourself.
I'm not holding any records right now. I'm third place.
I thought you hit 101 points or something.
Richard hit 104. I'm at 95. I just really wanted to beat Billy because he got to 86. I was sitting at 72, and then he started talking trash in my face. So I was like, I can't stand for that. He woke up a fire in me. That when I hit 95, I was holding the record for a day, and I decided that was good for me.
So who has the record now?
Richard has it. At some point, I'm going to try to take it back.
But Richard plays it the most, right?
I've had work to do. What's that?
Richard's played it the most, I feel like.
Me and him probably, and Luke is. I have no idea what he does. Me and Richard have played a lot together. Luke probably is going in there late at night working on his shot.
My prediction is our audience does not care about our Pop-A-Shot, just like fantasy sports, right? I don't care about your fantasy football team. All right, Cooper, give us some news.
So tonight, Joni Taylor and the Aggie women's team will head to Memorial Coliseum in Kentucky to face the number 18 ranked Wildcats at 5:30 p.m. This is their second ranked matchup following their win to Alabama at home. And if you think back a year, they had their last ranked win against the Wildcats in January 2025. So maybe they can get another ranked win against the Wildcats, but a year and a bit later.
That'd be great. It would be really nice.
Yeah, hopefully. They've actually been playing some pretty decent ball play. They beat
the South Carolina game was close.
South Carolina,
Alabama.
So, maybe they've turned a corner.
Hey, Cooper, I know we got to hit a break here, but can you read John in Cypress's text, please?
I was just about to. He said, not trying to make an excuse. This is a legit question. Buckyball has to be taxing on the legs. I'm wondering if the guys are hitting a wall at this point in the season. They have poured a lot of effort out. What do y'all think?
I think it's a good question. I don't believe so because, again, they're scoring. It's not like their offense is dramatically. They've just taken on good teams and also teams that are the kryptonite for the way A&M plays. The last two, at least.
Yeah. First of all, they're very deep. So it's not like guys are playing, 38 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And their three-point shots, I don't think they missed because they were tired. I think they missed because they're streaky and they're good three-point shooters, not necessarily great ones, but they hit a three-pointer with 6:10 and then another one with 5:31. And, well, actually, they hit three three-pointers from 7:30 left to 5 minutes left, 5:31. So there's three that are kind of late in the game.
Yeah, I agree.
So I don't want to blame anything on fatigue because Missouri's not as deep as A&M, and they seem to be okay.
Yeah, they were fine. How many? What was A&M's three-point percentage for the game?
For the game, I think it was like 48%.
48%.
Because they shot 25%.
45.
45. Okay, they were 11 of 17 in the first half, and then they were 4 of 16 in the second. Shot 25% in the second half.
All right, let's hit a break here. Usually I want to celebrate after a win, but I also want to feel better about feeling sad after a win. What do I do, OB?
You go to 1775, and you know what?
Look at that
You can
smile
do
on
that
your
today.
face.
Yeah, 1775 makes me happy. It is Thursday, so you got 3 days, a 3-day opportunity to go experience the tremendous barbecue at 1775.
New word. I don't
Tremendous, the ultimate in Texas.
I want
barbecue.
all of them to be new.
Say what?
All the things you use, all your adjectives, I want them to be new.
Well, I don't know if I can promise that. I'm going to bring back the old classics, and say you got the succulent brisket, and the amazing pork ribs. You're going to love. I'm telling you, you're going to love that jalapeno cheese sausage. Really is. I mean, it's so tasty. And of course, if you're watching your weight and still want to
You saying I'm fat?
No, because
You're saying watching my weight. That's what fat people.
You know why he's not fat? Because he likes to eat the turkey at 1775, which is very, very good. I ain't calling nobody fat.
PHAT.
Yeah, I'm not that either.
Hey, by the way, it's Valentine's, so if you love your wife, you go to 1775. If you don't, you don't go. But if you love her, that's how you show love.
Yeah, I showed her that like last week because my love isn't limited to one day a year.
1775. Were you alluding to something?
I'm just saying, my love's not limited to one day a year. Because I don't just take her to 1775 for Valentine's Day. I take her whenever she
That'd
wants to.
That'd be a good country song. My love is, say that line again.
My love is not limited to one day a year.
That's a new George Strait song. Let's do it. 1775, txbbq.com. Check it out. I wish I had Olin here for it because he loves energy drinks. Catalyst Citrus Spark. This is one of the new flavors out there. Whether you're grinding through workouts, cramming for a test, or closing in on a deal or getting ready for TexAgs Live, you never know, right? Fast becoming the go-to fuel for Aggies everywhere. Zero sugar. I'm all in for that. Or synthetic sweeteners, no artificial colors or flavors. Catalyst delivers clean, high-performance energy with smooth, crisp taste that is never syrupy, designed for both health and hustle. You want to get going, you use this Catalyst right here. It's about pure energy and pure results. And what sets them apart? Packed with premium nootropics blended to boost focus, clarity, and mental stamina. I need this. I'm in, guys. I'm in. Plus, with plant-based caffeine, vitamin B12, B6, Catalyst supports metabolism and energy production, making it more than a drink. It's your lifestyle training partner. Built for competitors on the field, Catalyst fuels strength, focus, and pure results. Buy now at drinkcatalyst.com. That is drinkcatalyst.com. Train harder, think sharper, pure results. It's Catalyst. Be looking at this combine invite. A&M's got 13 players invited.
Man,
the most.
They must have been good last year.
They were pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. 13 players going to go. I'm excited about that to see. You know, the expectation isn't 13 or more every year, but the expectation should be to have several guys going to the NFL Combine and draft.
Especially now that you have the transfer portal.
Yep.
A program like A&M, it shouldn't be a big deal for them to have double figures of guys that invited, because they've shown that they're going to recruit high schools well, and they've shown that they can bring in good players through the portal.
Yep.
So who knows about next year? But I wouldn't be surprised if you have, if not 10,
8, 9.
8 or 9.
Yep. You've got so A&M with 13, which is the most. Alabama with 12.
How about that?
LSU with 11, tied with Ohio State. I'm gonna kind of give you a little bit of a.
Do they give you the names of all the guys?
I don't have it on this, but I'm sure Cooper can get us all the names.
I have them right here if you want them. Yeah.
Hey,
Trezun the third. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I knew the A&M guys. I just remember from all.
Well, let's get A&M just so the audience knows who was all invited.
Yeah. So the 13 guys: Trezun the third, Demetrius Crownover, Will Lee the third, Casey Concepcion, Cassius Howell, Le'Veon Moss, Nate Borkacher, Chase Basantis, Armaje Reed Adams, TexAgs intern, Albert Regis, Tyler Onyedum, Scooby Williams, and Torian York.
Yeah.
It's a good list. And by the way, it's interesting to me, and it doesn't mean too much, but your first, I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams, I'll say underperform's not the right way to phrase what I want to say, but A&M fizzled at the end. Okay. Alabama was exposed. Okay. LSU was a huge disappointment. Ohio State lost their only playoff game and lost their last 2 games of the season, just like A&M, right? And Georgia, I think, was a pretty big disappointment.
And yet,
for their standards.
Right, for their standards.
A&M.
That was still 4 teams. Did I get that right? 4 teams that were in the playoff?
Yeah. Well, except for LSU. All the teams that I read except for LSU. Yeah.
So 4.
Yeah.
That shows if you got guys that are NFL caliber, you're probably going to have a great year.
So, and by the way, I think A&M exceeded expectations. They just fizzled at the end. So but I want to go through these teams, and you tell me who exceeded expectations, who didn't. Okay. We'll do this quickly. A&M exceeded expectations, right?
Yeah.
Alabama.
I think they did not exceed. Did not meet expectations. And I say that, and yet they were in the playoffs.
And they made it to the second.
They won it. Yeah,
they won a playoff
They beat
game.
Oklahoma.
LSU.
No, of course they did not meet expectations.
Ohio State.
Did not meet expectations, but I mean, they lost to the national champion and the team that played for the national championship. So,
no.
But it's Ohio State, and they just expect to win every game.
Georgia. About expectations?
I thought they would. The only thing I could say about Georgia is that I thought, didn't they win the SEC?
Yeah.
So they're SEC champions.
Yeah.
And I thought that they would beat Ole Miss.
Okay. Miami exceeded expectations.
Or met them.
They got to the national championship.
Yeah, they exceeded. You're right. They exceeded expectations. I thought they'd lose to. I thought they'd lose to A&M.
Yeah.
I thought they'd lose to Oklahoma. Ohio State.
Oklahoma exceeded expectations.
Yeah, they did.
Clemson, no.
No, did not meet expectations.
Florida, no.
No.
These are teams with 9 people going to the combine. Indiana, yes.
I'd say they exceeded them. Yes, I would.
Iowa, I don't know. Sure.
Did they have expectations?
Oregon.
They had corn. I think, in my mind, Oregon, I don't know.
Penn State, no.
Penn State definitely underachieved.
Michigan, no. Texas Tech, it's hard to say because they're in the Big 12, right? But
they were in the
I'll
tournament.
give them props.
Yeah, they had a good year.
Texas.
To me, Texas met expectations.
Yeah. USC?
Probably underachieved.
All right, this is we've gone too long on this, but these are teams with 6 people going to the combine. Arkansas, Auburn, Kentucky, Mizzou, Notre Dame, Tennessee. Arkansas.
How do they have 6 pro prospects?
Auburn did not meet expectations.
No.
Kentucky had no expectations.
No.
Missouri did not meet expectations.
I thought Missouri was about what they were expected to be.
I think that's true. Notre Dame didn't make the playoffs, so they didn't meet their expectations, but they still were. They lost the games that were 50-50 games, and they won the rest.
I thought they met everyone's expectations but their own.
And then Tennessee did not meet expectations.
Did not meet expectations.
I don't know why I wanted
I guess. I don't know what I expected from Tennessee. I didn't think they were going to be great. I didn't think they were going to be in the tournament, the playoffs.
So maybe they met their expectations. Imagine a workspace designed for how we work now, collaborative, inspiring, and surrounded by real energy. That is the Lumen at Lake Walk. Great place. The Lumen is Bryan College Station's only Class A plus office building with lake views, on-site dining, fitness, and conference amenities. And they're all steps from the Stella Hotel and everything that Lake Walk has to offer. It is a place built for modern business. If you want to have your business and just a cool vibe, that's the place to help attract talent, impress clients, and keep teams energized. And they are owned by Aggie-owned William Cole Companies, the same group that brought you to the Traditions Club, the Stella Hotel, and Lake Walk. So if you're a business owner, entrepreneur, or if you're looking for your next headquarters or family office, this is where innovation meets lifestyle. Now leasing at the Lumen. Learn more at lakewalktx.com. That is lakewalktx.com. And we're back here on TexAgs Live. We're presented by David Gardner's Jewelers Rollo Insurance Studio. Time for our weekly conversation with Stephen McGee, our QB1 and your financial quarterback at Paragon Financial Advisors, helping you call the right place for your financial future. What's up, buddy?
Good morning.
How are you?
Are those glasses real, or are those like
They're real.
The fake ones?
They're real
nowadays.
Yeah, I sometimes need them and I sometimes don't. It's weird when you get old. Like, it's not all the time. Like, sometimes I read fine, and sometimes in the mornings or at night when it gets dark, that's where I notice I might need them.
Maybe the first conversation I've ever heard between two guys, and the guy saying, "No, they're real. They're real."
And they're spectacular.
They're real and they're spectacular.
If I had a nickel.
Usually when I've heard that conversation, it involved someone else.
Yeah. I bet it did. I'm already. Oh, but.
All right, so we just went through the NFL Combine invite list. Did you see it?
No.
A&M has the most with 13 people invited.
Out of all teams?
Out of all teams, that's right. Alabama's second. I have the list right here. It's A&M first with 13, 12 for Bama, 11 for LSU and Ohio State, Georgia with 10, Miami with 10, Oklahoma with 10.
Not surprising. I mean, a little surprising, but not completely surprising. I mean, we have good players.
Yeah, and good teams. Every one of those teams that LSU that he mentioned was in the playoff. Imagine that. You have NFL caliber players. You have typically great success.
Okay. Winners. That's
how many NFL
drafted.
caliber players were on your team?
NFL caliber?
Yeah.
I guess it depends on what year.
Your last year when you went into the draft in the fourth round to the America's team Dallas Cowboys and led them to a victory over the Philadelphia Eagles.
Let's see. That would have been McGee, Jaworski.
Yeah. So
we had two. No. I lied. We had Michael Bennett.
Okay, so about four.
Yeah,
or five?
four of us.
Four guys in the comments. See, and y'all weren't bad. Y'all went to the bowl game, didn't you?
No.
That was the year before that you went to the.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were terrible.
See, there goes to the. there goes to the point again.
They should have stuck with the theme though, because we're a bunch of losers.
So I'm looking at this list, and I'm just going to read you some of the guys that are transfer portal guys. So, again, going back to your point of the transfer portal has helped this. Casey Concepcion, transfer. Nate Borkacher, transfer. Armajé Reed-Adams, transfer. Cassius Howell, transfer. Tyler Onyenim, transfer. Scooby Williams, transfer. Will Lee, transfer. 7?
So more than half.
More than half.
That's the way it's going to be.
But some of those guys developed here, right? Like, I don't know if they were on that trajectory before they got here.
Well, I think Cassius Howell probably would have been, because he did lead the MAC in sacks. Will Lee probably would have been, but they got better here, I'm sure.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. I mean, especially on the defensive side of the ball, the development of
I would think Onyedim, for instance.
I've
never heard of him.
Onyedim?
Yeah.
And baller.
Yeah,
and Borkacher. I'll tell you the one guy on there that arguably may have the biggest slippage was Will Lee. Like, I think last year they had him projected in the third round.
Yeah. I don't know if he's a third rounder right now.
Yeah. But he's still a good football player.
Not by my evaluation.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I just don't know what anybody saw that would make you say that, because it sure seemed like people wanted to throw the opposite way a lot.
Yeah. No, he's.
And I can remember that play at Notre Dame on the goal line, and they had to settle for a field goal because he broke up a play at the goal line. I mean, I thought Will Lee was.
He was really good.
And you know what? He's a guy that's willing to not only pressure off the edge, but a guy that makes a lot of plays in the run game. He's a corner that's willing to go up and make tackles and plays.
Yeah.
And, just a good football player. But
by the way, I Googled it. Will Lee's grade is in the mid to late day 2, so second, third round range.
Oh, there you go. All right, so maybe it doesn't have slippage. That's good. That's what you want. I mean, look, if I'm a defensive player, I'm loving the production that Mike Elko's defense, and I want to be on a defense that Mike Elko coaches. I mean, it's just clear this guy is producing football players on that side of the ball, and I think you're going to see it. You know, you have a lot of guys that are playing at the next level that were Mike Elko products that are going to have long careers.
Are you saying that if you want to be really good at football, this is a good place to be? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. And maybe get paid a little bit.
Isn't that what Mike Elko says in our opening? If you want to be really good at football, this is a good place to be.
There you go. I I love Mike Elko. I from a development perspective on the individual side versus, also being able to win football games, I think he checks both boxes, and I think that's why we're on the rise. We just got to get the offense figured out and playing at the same level our defense finished the year at. I think the offense started hot. That's my only question mark going into this year. Or not the only question mark, but I think the biggest question mark. And losing, a lot of really good football players. But last year we had a lot of new faces, and Mike Elko answered the call. He went out and signed these guys and proved that he can plug and play. And so I think that gives me more faith that the haul they got in the portal this year is going to have that impact that we needed to have. But, look, it all starts and finishes with your head man and your quarterback, right? And we feel really good about the head man and we feel good about the quarterback, but I think he's got to take a step. And so that goes back to the offense, the complete offensive picture. And so we'll see.
I don't want to say I push back on that a little bit, Stephen, but I think the defense definitely against Miami played the way we want them to play, other than one real big play, right?
Yeah. Down the stretch, I would argue.
But I still think the way teams were able to run on A&M at the end of the year was, well, actually all year, not just the end of the year, all year. That's the part of the defense they got to fix.
There's no doubt. And I'm not saying that we're perfect, but neither is any defense. I think if you look at it from a points production in modern day football, it's about keeping points off the board. And I thought they did a great job of that at the end of the year. Even against Texas, they gave up a lot of yards. But how many points did Texas score on offense?
27, right?
Right. So to me, I'm not trying to say that's a stellar day at the ballpark, but
no, I know.
When you look at the aggregate average of all those games, they put us in a position where, most offenses are going to, with the kind of caliber players we have, are going to produce enough to win those games.
I think the defense was like a beauty contest finalist with a big zit on her nose. And the zit was the tendency to give up the long run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't for that flaw, for that one flaw, they're almost perfect.
But you know what feels better than popping that big zit?
I want them to pop it.
I know.
I want to see them pop it. I want to watch the A&M version of Dr. Pimple Popper. You've seen that show?
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to...
There's a show where they pop pimples?
Yeah.
Oh, man. It's the most disgusting thing, but some things in life are disgusting.
So was that run defense at times.
Yes, I totally agree. Like watching number 4 for Miami, that guy's a problem. I get it. He's a great football player.
Yeah.
Fletcher?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
But it wasn't just him.
It wasn't just him.
It was the guy from UTSA.
It was.
Robert Henry.
That dude's a monster.
But you can go down the list.
Was he invited to the combine?
He better be.
It was the Missouri.
I want guys like that.
Ahmad Hardy.
Or
the other one.
It was Hardy. It was the other one, too.
He was invited to the combine.
Yeah.
It was the guys at Notre Dame, and I know they're good, but the point is,
ooh, that guy.
The defense,
Jeremiah Love.
Well, it was the other one, too.
Jeremiah Love. Yeah. I love that dude. If I could have a bunch of Jeremiah. I love Love.
Around Valentine's Day.
I love popping pimples.
That's
shows,
what I'm saying.
Yes, you need to get on that. It's disgusting. You watch it out of the corner of your eye. It's so disgusting though you can't stop watching it.
Do they push it out into the point of blood?
Oh yeah, dude. They'll cut like a cyst out of someone's back, and it just keeps oozing.
Oh.
You know what I mean? They push it in different directions. But you know how relieving that must feel for that person.
So think of it is they extract that problem and they get it out and they do away with it.
So we're going to pop the pimple of the season.
To pop the pimple on the tendency to give up the long run.
That's the new T-shirt. It's kind of a paragraph.
Pop that pimple.
Pop that pimple. Speaking of popping things, who's the leader of us three right now? Pop a shot over here.
I would say you.
I don't even compete.
Did you try?
I mean, I'll go in there and play for fun, but I don't get involved with all that.
Well, that's fine. You don't have to be. Yeah,
I'm not good at it.
I mean,
sometimes I even work on my trick shots, and then they don't work. Like I try to bank it off the side, and then I'll make one, and then I'll try it again, and I'll throw it in, over the net.
I could see Nuño being a sandbagger, like a really good pop shot guy.
I'm a terrible shooter.
Well, it's not about shooting. It's like little underhand toss.
If you can't play defense, I can't help.
Yeah.
I'm a defensive-minded basketball player.
You're a hustle guy?
Yes.
Hustle and muscle?
Yeah, I got to die for loose balls. I would have played on Buzz's team. I might have started at center.
Yeah, who's Buzz?
Buzz Williams, who used to be here.
Yeah, dude.
Who won last night?
He did? Finally won a game?
Two straight.
They beat Iowa, yeah.
Bless his heart. How's that three? Does he still wear that three-piece?
I'm sure he does. I'm sure he
Changes
does.
Yeah.
He does?
Yeah, he does, because he sweats through it. Let's hit a break. Brad's Running Company time and Mason Hay, a family legacy at Century Square. They are locally owned specialty running store there at Brad's Running Company. They're passionate about finding you the right shoe, and they'll help you do that. They'll take a look at your gait. They'll make sure that you're fitting in your shoe correctly so you can have a lot of miles on that tread. They also have Vuori clothing there. They have Brooks, they have On, they have Hoka, they have Duck Camp, outdoor apparel, and Turtle Box speakers. And also, that Aggie spirit runs deep in that family. You got Haley and Macy, daughters of Mike, fourth-generation Aggies and College Station natives. They created Mason Hay, their own company featuring officially licensed Aggie apparel and merchandise with Aggie pajamas with original artwork inspired by A&M traditions. Check it out. From running shoes to Aggie pajamas, this Aggie family's got you covered. It is the Brad's Running Company at Century Square, and shop Mason Hay at masonhay.com. Hey guys, David Nuño here to talk about our new partners with EventPipe. They are a leader in hotel booking technology, and now they're giving you a chance to support Aggie student athletes every time that you travel. Thanks to their partnership with United and EventPipe, whether you're heading into a game, a business trip, or family vacation, every room that you book comes with cash back in the pockets of Aggie athletes. That's a wonderful deal. And with EventPipe, you'll get discounted hotel rates up to 20% lower than the major travel sites, while enjoying a fast, easy booking process. They've even created Presto, EventPipe's quick launch booking solution. It lets organizations build branded hotel sites powered by live hotel inventory, making it simple to book the perfect stay. So next time you want to book a trip, do it the smart way with EventPipe and support Texas Aggies NIL through United. Visit their website, tau.eventpipe.com. We're back here on TexAgs Live.
If they only knew.
If they only knew. Don't report back. Some of the things we talk about and look at during the breaks. Time for Buy, Sell, Hold. Brought to you by Aggie-owned Paragon Financial Advisors. If you want financial guidance that truly puts you first, visit paragon-adv.com. All right.
I know what I wouldn't buy, and I sure as hell don't know what I wouldn't hold.
But would you lease it? All right. Quarterbacks who will have a bounce-back season, buy, sell, hold next year. Lenore Sellers, DJ Lagway, and I just threw this one in because I was trying to stay SEC-ish, Austin Simmons, who was supposed to be the quarterback at Ole Miss, and we know how that ended.
Where did he go?
He went to Missouri.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. You want to go?
I will buy Lenore Sellers.
Yep, I agree.
I'm going to lease Austin Simmons. Because for whatever reason, quarterbacks seem to do, no matter who they are, seem to do okay.
Yeah.
And Drinkwitz is.
Does he beat out? Does he beat out the young freshman they had that was big arm kid?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zellers.
Yeah. So Zellers is going to be a sophomore, and
but I think
Simmons is going to be.
You don't bring him in to sit down behind Zoller, and I think they realize that maybe he's not Zoller.
He's not ready.
But is it the same situation as Bo Perbula, right? Who came in and now he did get hurt. So.
Except Austin Simmons played behind a guy much better than Perbula played behind.
True that.
Yes.
Because I never thought that much of Drew Aller, but I think a hell of a lot of Trinidad Chambliss.
Yeah.
And the guy I would lease or sell is Lagway.
Where's he going?
Baylor.
I think he'll put up some numbers there.
Here's the intriguing part for me is that very thing. Lagway is going to be in the world of Big 12 defenses where you can, even on a bad football team, put up numbers.
But what's he got around him?
I have no idea.
I don't either. I don't either. So
I mean, I just feel like being there, it's just
But
inevitable.
that was my only choice.
It's just mad.
And
Missouri, who does Missouri play? I mean, if Missouri has a tougher schedule, I'd almost argue the hold on Lagway just because of the better quality defenses. And I don't know what Missouri has around him coming back. Are those running backs back?
Yes.
In that D line?
Well, I don't think I think they're one of the best D-line guys left in the portal.
Yeah.
Oh. Which I get it, but like that was a strength. Like their front was good. And those running backs were a big part of what they were doing.
And he's going to have those. I don't know about
Austin Simmons is a good football player, man. He did some good things when he came in off the bench. That's interesting. I mean, how these guys. Lagway is almost damaged goods to some. You feel like he played at such a bad level. Like, can he overcome the mental hurdle with a fresh system, fresh look?
Maybe. I'm not saying he's going to be terrible, but
we got to drop it there. Gentlemen, thank you very much. When we come back, Michael Earley here in studio. Richard Zane will join me for that. It's TexAgs Live. And we're back. It is TexAgs Live. We're presented by David Gardner's Jewelers Rollo Insurance Studio, a little more than 24 hours away from opening weekend in baseball. Michael Earley in studio. Richard Zane joining me to chit-chat about all things baseball. Coach Earley, thanks again for coming by.
Thanks for having me.
So, all right, what's your routine like? Game day routine morning. Like, do you have the way you go about your day on a Friday game day?
I mean, my number one objective is to make sure the kids get out of bed and get to school on time.
Yeah.
And then after that, no, just kind of go over stuff. Pretty much done, especially the first week. You're still looking over. Once you get into the season, you're still probably doing some scouting on Friday morning just because the weeks get thin. But no, you just try to stay in the moment and not get too anxious. But just regular, work stuff and just getting ready to play. Nothing special.
I can't relate to the whole kid things like you guys can, but opening day, it always brings out that childlike excitement. Where are you at? 30 hours away from first pitch of your second season as the head coach, and how does it compare to when you were a kid, when you were playing in the pros, and now as a coach?
I think as a coach and a player, it's definitely different. It's a different type of excitement, and it's you have some control as a coach, but you don't have complete control. You're not out there playing or performing. And it's not that anxiety of performing on the field. It's that of just you want to win. And it's super cool. I mean, like I said before, it's better than Christmas. Just just saying it, like opening day, opening night, whatever you want to call it in baseball, it's incredible, and I'm excited to get to it.
I'm going to see if I can phrase this the way the way it is in my head. For you, last season was so long ago, right? Like you're almost like mid-season with this team. Like you've had a whole fall with them. So mentally, how far removed are you from that? Because fans are starting again, right? So for them, that's the most fresh thing. But for you, you're way past that.
Yeah, way past it. Personally, professionally, and the team. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, and I get it. Yeah, you're right. Fans go from one sport to the next, and I've heard people say they're cautiously optimistic, and I'm like, don't need to be cautious. Just come out. We're going to be good. We're going to be really good. We're going to be fun to watch, and it's going to be a great season. And we're going to get bumped. We're going to get banged up. But we're going to keep going. And we got a really good team. And I think it's I think the type of guys like our fan base will really like to see play. Like it's always cool when you feel like in any sport, your players kind of match the city they're in or their fan base. And I really, really feel like there's some guys on the field that really just kind of fit in with the culture of Texas A&M, which I think is awesome.
Who are some of those guys you're thinking about when you say that?
I think one of the new faces you'll see is Chris Akopian. Like this guy is a really good combination of ultra talented prospect, but he's a grinder. He's a dirtbag. He's just freaking gets after it. He'll give you a little bit of some Dylan Rock vibes, but no disrespect to Rock. I think just a little slightly better of a player, but hopefully he's that good. And then even from a freshman like Boston Kellner, same thing. And then seeing Caden Sorrell on, is going to be on an everyday basis. And you saw it a little bit, right? In and out freshman year, last year injuries, like those type of guys are the type of guys that I love to watch play, and I know fans do too.
Talk about Caden Sorrell. I spoke to him for some of our preseason content. Him and Gavin both talked about last year and how they're not thinking about it. It's in the past. That's the way they're kind of going about it with this club. What have you seen from both of those two guys? They're such high draft prospects, but then also inside the clubhouse, their leadership now that they're both fully healthy for the first time in a while.
Yeah, they both lead in different ways. I mean, Gavin's going to be a little more vocal, brings guys together. Caden just really goes about his business, and he'll say stuff to guys subtly, and he does not lack confidence, which I think helps young guys to see. And their work ethic is great, especially for me, not only from a team standpoint, but I mean, we're always constantly talking, hitting stuff or sending videos or getting videos back and forth and just making little tweaks and, trying to make them, the best they can be. And they make my job easy. I don't have to seek them out to coach them. They're usually grabbing me, and we're in the cage every single day just trying to get better.
Go back to that comment about Hakopian. Let's say he is Dylan Rock level this year, right?
I would love that.
I mean, we all would.
It'd be awesome.
Along with a healthy Gavin, right? And as you mentioned, Caden Sorrell, just that part of the lineup, however it shakes out, like that's veterans, that is production. What does that do for the rest of the lineup?
It depends, right? Like we expect those guys to be really good. They should hit somewhere in the top four, and then you add in a guy like Wesley Jordan, Jake Dewar, Nico Partido, who we think is going to be really good. It really just depends on the production level because, let's assume those guys are good and we know what they are. It's still not enough. right? We don't want to take a couple innings off until we get back to them. So it's really important for us that, that middle of the order to down is really, really good and get on base and be productive. And I think the biggest part is like learning who they are. Some of them, we feel like we have a pretty good idea who they are, but some of them never played college baseball. And the number one objective is to score more runs than the other team. And to do that, you must get on base. And, making productive outs when you make outs, putting, stress on the pitcher. So when they go through that part of the order, the pitcher's just like, dang, like these guys, they're good too. And then you get back to the top and it's like, boom, just hit them with jabs, 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 and keep going. But I think it's to be seen, but we just want to be productive and a complete lineup and be able to win in many different ways.
You mentioned Partita. You spoke about Kellner a little bit earlier. Jorian Wilson's a guy that is first team all off the bus. Hopefully a ton of potential.
You guys didn't let me keep that Jorian Wilson secret pretty good.
Yeah, that was all Bronny. You know that. I'll blame him even though he's not here. But then a guy like Hunter Vincent, some other youngsters and stuff like that. What can this fan base expect from those two guys? And what are you going to be watching from the freshmen as the lights come on and the games start counting for real? Because I know the pressure's going to ramp up on them.
Yeah. We've tried to prepare them the best we can. That's why we do the scrimmages. But you talk about Hunter and you talk about Jorian, like they're freshmen, but they're two of the most talented players I've ever seen, and two of the most talented players on the team, period. Just again, both lack experience, but I'm just excited to see them go out there and compete. I think they'll be good. Again, ups and downs, all that with freshmen, and we're going to have to, in order to get experience, they must earn, and I must help get them experience, and we want to do that as soon as possible because we think those are two guys that are going to help us in the long run.
I saw TK at the basketball game last night. Every time I talk to him, I think of just, wow, what a mature, like he's just a sophomore. Has he always kind of given that vibe off?
Yeah, TK's great. Like I just from recruiting TK, I remember spending a lot of time with him at Chase Field. He was at an event, him and his mom, and just hanging out like for a long time. And he's an awesome kid. He lights up a room. He's great. I mean, he's good to work with. He's put in a lot of work, but he's just a good dude. He's a good dude. And he's someone you like spending time around, and he's a great ambassador of the program, and just awesome person.
Where can he take his game to this year?
That's interesting with him. And when you got a guy like TK, you look at his season last year, right? And we're like, oh, that's a really good freshman year. There's always this part of it, though, when you have a year like that, it's like, oh, now if you can add power. And when I met with him, our last meeting last year, it's like, dude, I don't care about your power. Your power will come. I want you to be a really good hitter. Really good hitter. I think for him, if he starts to try to search for power, which he's not going to, it's not going to be there. I think he's still in that maturation process where it's coming. But if he can be like I love Luis Arraez, a big leaguer guy. He's just like one of the last pure hitters in baseball. Be a guy like that. I mean, he's right-handed, so it's different, but just a guy that's just a really good hitter, can spray it all over the field. He's going to pop a homer every now and then and get on base. I think as he gets stronger in the next year, I think he could be, 8 to 10 home run guy. But again, just really, really being good at who he is and not trying to be someone else.
TK is a perfect segue into what we are expecting to see on the base paths and a more aggressive approach with Cliff Pennington coming in as you're starting to solidify roles and stuff like that. What is that going to look like in practice now that the season's around?
It's aggressive, but also smart. We want to be aggressive, but not reckless, right? And to steal a base, if you're talking about that particularly, it's like the catcher has a certain time, the pitcher has a certain time. What Cliff is able to do is look for little tells and things that allow us to get a little extra jump, and also more aggressive going first to third. And I would say not just aggressive, but smarter, like having some baseball IQ out there, being able to get extra steps when you can. He's done awesome with that. Now, our pitchers do a really, really good job in the run game. They do. Watch our games. Like, people steal on us, but it's not a lot. Rarely third, just because JK does an unbelievable job at that. So what that has done is it's hard for us in scrimmages to really work on a ton. And a lot of our work comes in practice, which is not quite the same. So they do it every day. Hopefully we find some stuff on the team and we can execute it then, but it's going to be interesting, right? Like how they pick up on it, because they're not learning on the job, but they're going to have to get their experience in doing it, just because our guys do a really good job at holding in scrimmages.
How do you feel your pitching staff complements each other?
I think they do awesome. They, it is every year's different. Every guy's different. It's just, we have a different personality of pitcher, and nothing against the guys we had. Those guys were awesome. I'd take them every day of the week. But it's just, we got some emotion that can be bad. It can also be really, really good, right? It's like how you channel it, how you ride that wave. And no, I like that. I like some fire in our guys. And I don't know. I think they're going to surprise some people because I know there's obviously some question marks about pitching when you lose 3 starters that pitched all year, which I've never seen in my life, right? But yeah, I think we got some talent that can really, really flourish, and they're gonna be good, man. I'm really, really impressed by what they've done and what they've done to get to this point.
You mentioned it, for the first time ever, you're gonna have a rotation that's not Prager, Lampkin, Patton. So what are you gonna roll out this weekend against Tennessee Tech?
We're gonna go Shane Sadeo on Friday, Weston Moss on Saturday, and Aiden Sims on Sunday. What did
Shane show you since he's been back, because we haven't seen him in 18 months or so, that he earned the opening day start?
He's gotten better every time he's went out, and it started off fine, right? And then he just kept getting better and better and better, and was making mistakes in one area. The next time it was fixed. Maybe something else, it was fixed. He's going to have some emotion. He's going to have to control those emotions, and he will. I think I said last time, you may just need to throw the first one off the backstop and then let it out and get back going. But I know what you'll see out of him every day is he's going to compete. Like, that dude's a dog, and he wants the ball.
And then the other two guys, Weston Moss making the jump from bullpen weapon to the rotation, then Aiden Sims, a guy who impressed throughout the fall, and then last time we saw him at the Maroon and White scrimmage, he was fantastic yet again.
Yeah, with those two, it's like you look at the year, and at the end of the year, if you told me those two was the best pitcher on the team or whatever, I want to be surprised. And Weston's just added velocity. His slider's gotten better. He's gotten bigger, stronger. And then Sims he's a sophomore now, but I feel like he's a junior. He's just one of those guys that's worked so hard. He's made a tremendous jump. And that's what you want to see, right? Come in as a freshman, get experience. Okay, make that sophomore leap. And we feel like he's done that. So elite strike throwers, we want to throw strikes. Like, throw strikes, let them hit it. We'll pick it up. We'll throw it to first and strike guys out. We need to strike them out.
Back to that, we'll pick it up. How do you feel defensively heading into the first game?
Good. Yeah, I think we're good. We obviously got some guys in new positions, but it's not new like, tomorrow's the first day. Like, they've been there. They're ready to go. We're in a really good spot. They've worked really hard. Cliff's really tough on them in certain areas and demands certain things from they really work like to the most minute level and train over the game, which I really like, and I feel like they're really prepared.
I do want to ask you about this weekend overall. What can you tell me about this team? Corpus Christi, sorry.
Tennessee Tech.
Tennessee.
Corpus Christi is Tuesday.
Sorry,
right?
Tennessee Tech.
Good. They got a lot of transfers. Mm-hmm. We actually got one of their players, Juan Vargas, went there last season. So, yeah, I mean, they look like a tough squad. They got some older guys, but just really kind of a new team. Their Friday guy was, there last year, and the guy on Sunday, but the guy they're throwing on Saturday had a ton of strikeouts at the Division III level. They're just a mix of transfers and returners, but they got some older guys. They got some. I think they're really good. I mean, I think they're good. They're going to come in here. Anytime you come in here at the beginning of the year, we know what it is, right? Like, they're trying to knock us off, right? And that's fine. And we're going to be ready to go.
What difficulties come with preparing for a mid-major team like Tennessee Tech that there might not be as much film on such a new rebuilt roster like the one Braga has?
I'll say that the difficulties in week one in preparing are so hard, just from out of experience. I had a time at Arizona State where we were facing Sac State and, dialed up the scouting report on this guy. He was a 2-seam, lower slot, sinker, slider, and whole offseason went by, and he changed his whole arm action and put on like 4 or 5 miles an hour and had an over-the-top breaker. And it was just like, you kind of go into the first game. I mean, hell, this kid tomorrow might throw sidearm. I have no idea, right? We try to do our best to figure it out, but it's the difficulties just in general preparing for anyone the first week, and even those first couple are just tough because guys change. They don't quite know who they are. I mean, you might have a pitcher that was a fastball, change-up, curveball guy, and he got rid of the curveball, and now he has a slider. So just kind of figuring that out. And we have all the metrics in game, so that definitely helps too. But you really, really just need to prepare your team to be the best they can. If a team does something wacky or weird, be prepared for it. But just be you, be yourself, and handle what you can handle, and then don't worry too much about them. Just prepare for the things you need to.
So what is I know you said you're focusing on yourself, doing what you can do, controlling what you control, but from a game plan standpoint, a scouting report standpoint, what's the timeline like? When do you start feeling comfortable in preparing for an opponent, considering you've got a big weekend at the end of the month when you go up to Arlington and face the preseason #1 UCLA?
Yeah, the first week is really the only week. I mean, you could have done your scouting report 6 months ago because that's the only information you have. So it's really the only week you kind of get to get it done and enjoy the week. And then after that, it's just a blitz. Like Monday you're getting ready for Tuesday's game. And Tuesdays are tough because for me, you're doing the whole pitching staff, but you might only see 3 or 4 guys. And those mid-majors always scare you on Tuesdays because you see that Friday guy just trotting down to the bullpen. You got to make sure you're prepared for that too. And then, you wake up Wednesday and you go Wednesday, Thursday, maybe a little bit of Friday morning to get ready for Friday. And those tournaments are tough too because you're preparing for 3 different teams in 3 days and then 4 teams in 5 days. So,
from a philosophy standpoint, when adding transfers to the program, baseball clubhouses are sacred. What goes into your evaluation process to make sure it fits with not only what you want to do, but what you already have?
Yeah, we cast a wide net as far as talent level, right? And you got to look at the talent part first. And the baseball is a small world between travel coaches, high school coaches, agents. You get a really good idea who someone is, good or bad. And that's a big part of it, like huge part of it. And you don't want to put a bad egg into your locker room. And I think we've just done a great job of bringing in not only the right players and personnel that fit what we do, but just the right people. Like you've had Chris on here, you've had these other guys on here. I don't know if you've had Wes Jordan or Jake Dewar, but talk to those guys for 2 minutes. You just know they're good dudes. Like knew their high school coach really well. And along with a lot of other guys, having Juan Vargas on his visit with his dad and brother from Panama, you're just like, wow, just like what a good person. And so that is, for me, on a visits are two-way. It's not just you evaluating the school. We are evaluating you because this is way bigger than baseball, and our wins and losses are going to be way bigger than just playing baseball.
You mentioned Dewar and Wesley Jordan. Kids from Flower Mound end up being pretty good guys, right?
They will want you to mention Flower Mound Marcus.
I know that.
You got to make sure you throw that in there.
I went to the other one.
Yeah, I mean, their high school coach, Jeff Sherman, he's a tremendous coach, awesome dude.
USA Baseball.
Yeah, he's just like, if you get to play high school baseball for a guy like that, like you're super lucky. And those guys, they come in ready. Like they are prepared. They have a toughness to them. And yeah, man, he's a good dude, and they're good dudes. And I think when you play for him, you don't really have a good choice, or you have a choice. So he kind of molds them into who they are, and we're thankful to have his players.
Coach Earley, thank you very much. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you, guys. See you out there.
Appreciate you. All right, we're ahead of break. We'll come back. We'll find out what's on TexAgs today. The interest for baseball is real. I'm looking at the YouTube page, Richard, and everyone's telling us what questions to ask. Hey, can you ask about the rotation? We knew to ask about the rotation. It was in my notes. But I just love talking to Coach Earley.
He's awesome. And
your mic needs to be turned on. Oh, well, that's great. Mic's off of Richard. So anyway, I'll answer for Richard. His Coach Earley's great. We'll go to the Angry Elephant News and Social Center because we had a couple text messages and thoughts coming in. Cooper, if you want to just keep it to the baseball perspective, what are some of the things that folks are saying?
They really wanted to know about the pitching, as you were saying. They also want to talk about kind of the expectations. They're very excited for the season. I'm trying to look for a specific chat.
Well, look, completely different scenarios, but last year, baseball-wise, there was these such high, and I'll be honest with you, I wish as an analyst my gut told me they were going to take a step back because there was just too many changes going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I would have ever predicted the step back that they took, but I think sometimes preseason expectations, when things get tight, they go real tight. And this year, with such less expectations, these boys can just go out there and play ball. And I'll return that thought to Richard, because to me, and I don't want to call it the lack of expectations, but I will say the fact that they don't have number one on their preseason rankings, that people they're recognizing, even D1 baseball. Yeah, they've got a lot of talent, but I just don't know yet. I think that's actually good for this program this year.
First off, check. Is this thing on?
Yeah,
Am I
on.
good to go?
We're good.
That's a perfect segue into what one of the things Caden Sorrell told me when I spoke to him as part of our countdown series for Aggie baseball. He said that last year it felt like the pressure and the moment got too big for some guys in the clubhouse.
Mm-hmm.
None of that is in around this Texas A&M team, right? Because everyone's kind of written them off after what happened last year. D1 baseball has them ranked 25th. They've got the talent to be a team that hosts the NCAA tournament, hosts a regional at Bluebell Park. If they have to play their way into it, but the talent's there,
Yeah.
right? They've got 3 projected first-rounders atop the lineup in Grahovic, Sorrell, and Hakopian, possibly in that order, right, left, right. Shane Cedeo's ranked 45th in MLB.com's top 100 draft prospects. Weston Moss, you've heard about what he's been doing all offseason, and you know what you saw from him last year as a bullpen arm. They have the pieces, but they don't have nearly as much pressure, and I think that's a good thing for this ball club because they can go out, play free and loose, and maybe sneak up on some people.
Yeah. Well, and what was it, 22, where they just mashed their way to the College World Series? Is that the kind of roster or the kind of team that they potentially could be this year if they're going to find a way to click? Is it because they mashed their way through, or is it no? That won't be duplicated. It'll be good, but they've got to have the pitching.
So that team mashed its way to Omaha because they had to, right? It was Micah Dallas and Nathan Detmer, and then just hope somebody out of the bullpen got you a few outs. Jacob Palish emerged down the stretch, one of the better back-end multi-inning relievers we've seen in recent years. Obviously, Evan Aschenbeck's number one in that regard. But that team mashed because they had to. I'm not sure this team has to mash, nor am I convinced that they are going to be able to, at least those kinds of power numbers. And we saw the best power hitting team ever just 2 years ago, the team that came 1 win shy of the College World Series. I think you've got serious pop at the top of this lineup with those powerful 3 we just mentioned. Wesley Jordan's an experienced bat. Jake Dewar's an experienced bat. Jorian Wilson is all-world potential, but he's a true freshman. You don't want to put too much pressure on him just yet. You heard Mike Earley say it. TK's not going to hit for power. Nico Partita, Boston Kellner, they're true freshmen. Bear Harrison, who we seemingly overlook all the time,
why is that?
Had double-digit home runs last year, and he didn't play all of the games. They've got a better situation at the catcher position with Zane Becker backing him up this year. They've got more depth at that spot. I don't think they are going to mash their way to Omaha because I don't think that's the offensive game plan. I think they want to be better offensively, but that doesn't always look like hitting the ball out of the ballpark. Right? They are going to be built to win games in multiple different ways. Aggressive base running, but not reckless base running. You heard him say that. That's one of the big reasons Cliff Pennington's here. They've got speed up and down the lineup. They've got options off the bench. Travis Chestnut's back. Remember, he was one of the faster players on that 24 team. Sawyer Farr can run. They've got different pieces, and the big thing is going to be the plate discipline and working those walks, getting back to taking the balls and swinging at strikes and doing damage when you do swing. That was the hallmark of a Michael Earley offense that got within a couple runs of a national title. That's what they need to get back to. But the damage when they put the ball in play might not be as astronomically high as far as the home run total goes.
This has come up a couple times this week, and I think it'll come up tomorrow on the baseball bunch because we need some games under our belt to kind of advance the story, if you will. But to me, and I know I'm making excuses for last year, but I just don't know many teams that can survive some of the bumps that team took last year. When you're talking about a couple of your best offensive players, one of them didn't play 98% of the season. The other was missing in action for the first half of the season, wasn't ever completely healthy. And some of the other things that they had to go through, losing Stewie. Regardless who your head coach is, what your program's done, I don't think many teams are able to overcome that.
Well, and Bronny, to his credit, he's been in and out a little bit more recently, but he still does a great job on the baseball coverage. He kind of outlined that in one of his preview series pieces. You missed Gavin Grahovic for the final 50 games of the year. That is a potential first rounder. He was coming off of the SEC Freshman of the Year
23
campaign,
home runs.
A program rookie record for homers. He missed the last 50 games. That is a huge blow to any team. It's almost as if you lose your all-SEC running back down the stretch. Is it not?
Amazing how that changes
things. Or if you
things.
lose your 6'11 NBA, or I guess what is Mackenzie Mbako? 6'9", 6'11?
Yeah.
But he's your best NBA prospect. You lose him before the season even gets going. It changes everything, right? That's a huge loss. Oh, and then, by the way, you missed Caden Sorrell with the hamstring tear for the first 30 games of the year. What did Caden Sorrell when he finally got back up to speed? He had an OPS of 1,200 and is a preseason All-American because of what he did in 26 games. And he's a freak show. He might be your best player, and that's not to discredit Chris Akopian or Gavin Grahovic. So you can't. Any team's got to stay healthy, right? That's just one of the challenges.
It's not an excuse.
Sport.
It's just a reality.
It is a reality. And you mentioned Josh Stewart, right? His first appearance, he hurts his knee. He misses the entire year. A&M's already dealing with a little bit of an injury bug, or at least one injury in the preseason with Caden McCoy's going to miss the year with elbow surgery, Tommy John surgery. He was likely going to be a big piece, whether that be a Sunday guy or a multi-inning weapon out of the bullpen on weekends. So that's a big loss already. And you saw what he did at the tail end of last year as well. He was one of your better relievers, and you lose a left-handed arm too.
Yeah. We'll have a lot more on the baseball bunch tomorrow. Debuts with Scott Clendenin, yourself, and Bronny.
I'm so excited for Shane Sadeo. It's going to be his first start in 614 days. When he walked off the mound, Tommy John surgery against Oregon, you thought his A&M career is over. Fast forward 18 months, he's an opening day starter. That's a great story.
It is a great story.
And I'm really excited to see what this starting pitching rotation can develop into, because that's what my biggest question mark, and we'll start getting those questions answered this year.
Thank you, Richard. Appreciate you. All right. If you want to talk about something incredible, how about your family story? My buddy Chance McClain is making these documentaries for families. He's been doing it for several years, and he's fantastic at preserving your family stories that would otherwise be lost. Imagine capturing your dad's journey, your grandfather's struggles, your entire family's legacy in a professional cinematic documentary that is done, 2-hour style documentaries, and they aren't like these random videos. These are HBO, Netflix quality films. Chance travels the country, the world, everywhere. Right? He's been to Africa. He's been all over the place, spending weeks crafting stories that your kids, your grandkids, and your generations that come will treasure. You need to call him up immediately because tomorrow is not promised. Call Chance up at 713-893-8341. That's 713-893-8341, or visit yourheritagefilm.com. This isn't just a service. It's a time machine for your family's most precious memories. It's Heritage Films. And we are back here on TexAgs Live. We are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. We are in the Rollo Insurance Studio, and we're talking a little college basketball, a little college football. We'll get to Aaron Torres here in a moment, but I want to read a couple of text messages that came in. Heck, we had a lot of games. We were talking about Aggie baseball. We had a lot of games when Grahovic and Sorrell were both out. Our starting 8 from the previous year included one player. Jace was it. Josh and Sadeo were injured. Don't know what people are thinking as to how a team can compete at the top of the SEC with a new team on the field. Dave and Temple, appreciate that, and I agree. Look, doesn't take away the sting of not being able to reach your preseason expectations, especially the way the prior season ended. No doubt about that. But in my opinion, that was a huge, huge blow. And by the way, it is now time for one of our favorite segments with one of our favorite guests. Around College Athletics, brought to you by Milliken Reserve, a College Station community featuring homes, trails, farms, and wide open spaces with a mission to build a healthy community around nature. Take part in the Milliken Reserve community with a Conservancy membership. Learn more at millikenreserve.com. And with that, we go to the Buppies Catering and Bartending Hotline. That's where we find Aaron Torres of Aaron Torres Online and Fox Sports Radio. AT, what up, buddy?
So, fun fact about Torres, I found this out a few weeks ago. First of all, everybody knows, Torres' favorite real sport is college baseball. One of my interns went to high school with one of the A&M. Is Grahovic the one that's from? They probably have a few guys, but who's the one from SoCal? Is it Grahovic?
Yeah. You broke out on my end. What'd you say? You said who's from SoCal? It is Grahovic.
It's nothing. It was a little college baseball chatter. It's not important. How you doing, man?
No. You know what I love about you, AT? Because you don't talk college baseball typically in February. But as the season starts ramping up, I'd say middle of SEC play, you go all in, buddy.
Yeah, you really got to get to know a team. The first weekend in Arlington doesn't define a season. Neither here nor there with who's going to make it to Omaha. So real quick, how are we feeling about the Ags? I know last year was a little bit of a disappointment, a little bit of a letdown, but hope springs eternal. Ags, I assume, play this weekend. How are we feeling? I mean, it sounds like some of the callers are a little bit concerned.
AT, you can't feel good after losing 3 straight when you were in first place and you feel your NCAA tournament chances not dwindling, but just, like you're in reset mode. But that being said, if I'm being an optimist, I think to myself, you took on 2 teams back-to-back that I think stylistically are what would be A&M's kryptonite. They're big, strong teams in the middle. Every team seems to be big when A&M plays them, but Missouri is huge, man, and they had great guard play last night. So, and that game came down to the last play. It was just like the Alabama game came down to the last play. So disappointed, a little bit worried, but I also understand that stylistically was not a good matchup for A&M.
First of all, man, I was asking how you're feeling about the baseball team, bro. Come on, man. But it's okay. It's okay.
Oh, how do I feel about baseball? I feel great. We just had Coach Earley in studio, man.
Good. Okay. Well, that's good. So what I said, and I got cut off, one of my interns went to high school, or was a high school teammate of, I think Grahovic is the one from SoCal. I don't know. There's one from SoCal who's really good.
Grahovic.
And one of my interns was a high school teammate of his. Yeah, so they're buddies. They hang out, all that. Anyway, to Aggie basketball, yeah, I mean, listen, it's one of those things. It's like the cliche thing that doesn't feel like the thing that you want to hear in the middle of a if you want to call 2 games a losing streak, or 3 games a losing streak, excuse me. But listen, 17-7, tied for, I guess, 3rd in the SEC, but it's basically 2nd. At this point, whatever. You were a game back coming into last night. As far as basketball is concerned, again, I know that's not where you want to be, but if you had asked a couple things, if you had asked me or asked an Aggie fan, I should say, the day Buzz Williams left, hey, oh, by the way, we're going to fast forward to February 12th, going into Valentine's Day of 2026. The Aggies are going to be 17-7 and a game and a half out of first place. Oh, and Buzz Williams is going to be in national headlines for not even trying as Maryland's basketball coach. And I know they won last night, but you get the point. I think Aggie fans would have taken that. So, 1, it's not a Buzz conversation. And 2, I know that's not what you want to hear in a 3-game losing streak. but you can't see the forest through the trees. I know Aggies fans do. And I still think you're in pretty good position, even though obviously the last week to 10 days has been frustrating.
AT, I think I have fixed my headset so that now I can hear you clearly. So, yes, when you talk basketball, we're talking basketball. We're not going to talk baseball and vice versa, just for the record. Look, it's weird, though, when it comes to your expectations evolve as the season goes on, right? So the team that played last night, and A&M had their chances to win that game, no doubt. In fact, they hit 11 threes in the first half, and you felt really good about what could happen. But to me, the team that played last night, that's kind of who I expected to see this year, because I was like, God, they're not big, and their best players hurt for the year. And I thought that, they'd have some cool wins in there. That being said, my expectations have evolved because of the early success. So to me, like, this Vanderbilt game becomes paramount this weekend to stop the bleeding and just get back. Like, they have not played bad basketball except for the Florida game.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. And again, I guess that was kind of the point that I was trying to make about, being 17-7 and 7-4 in the SEC, is that a 3-game losing streak is not where you want to be, but it's hard not to see the forest through the trees. But then to your point, it doesn't feel good when you're in the midst of a 3-game losing streak. And so, yeah, I think there's stuff to clean up. And I think, listen, we knew a week ago, 10 days ago, that as the schedule got tougher, it was just going to be tough. And I think, you look at a couple of things. One, first of all, what Florida did to A&M the other day is what they're doing to everyone. And then I think on top of that, we also have to remember that Alabama, for, all the noise around that program, they are a good team, well coached, and that game was at Coleman Coliseum. And oh, by the way, you went into the final minute with a chance to win that game. And so I just bring it up to very simply say is that, yeah, last night I think was the one that you didn't play bad, but that was the one that probably stings. Missouri's a bubble team. They maybe got on the right side of the bubble, at least for now, with that win. But there's still a lot of basketball to be played, and there's still a lot of chances to not only improve that resume, but to get back on track as you hit the backstretch of the SEC.
Talking to Aaron Torres here on TexAgs Live. Speaking of that Missouri team, man, I think they're pretty good. I know they have some bad losses. They got some great wins. They're big. Their guards are so good. That's a team that when I watched them up close, I'm like, I don't know why they're not a tournament team other than they've had some bad losses.
Yeah, they've had some bad losses, but it's funny, and first of all, listen, this is a conversation for maybe later in February, early in March. What the net is doing, the net, for people who maybe don't remember, is basically the computer metric that determines NCAA tournament bids. And basically, I've said this for years, I think that the committee defaults too much to the net and not enough to, I know eye test isn't a metric. I get that. But I think, and we'll get there in March, but you're going to have 18 and 14 SEC teams, 18 and 14 Big Ten teams that really don't look the part, but because the computers love them, they'll get in. And I think Missouri's kind of the opposite. Is, yes, you have some bad losses, which are dragging down your computer numbers. You beat Florida. Not sure how many people remember that. They beat Florida on opening night of SEC play. They won at Kentucky, which is a team that is now tied for second place in the SEC. And, again, Missouri is another one, no different than so many of these teams. They still have so many big games left on their schedule. They actually play Arkansas twice. And so to your point, David, I watch them and they look like a tournament team to me. And I think they're going to have their chances late. And then I do think, listen, that Florida win keeps getting better. The Kentucky win seemingly gets better. The A&M win, I don't think, is going to age poorly. And so, yeah, I know this isn't, Tiger Ags Live, but they are a very good team.
Hey, 13 Aggies invited to the Combine. I know you're a big Combine guy. You love breaking down draft profiles. But the fact that it's the most A&M's ever had, the fact that it's the most this year at the Combine from any program, what does that say about the direction of Coach Elko to where he's taking this program?
Yeah, I spent a lot of time this year looking at hand size measurements. That's really how I spend most of my afternoons here in late February. So what I think it says is a couple things, and I'd have to look at who's actually there, but what I think it says is that, one, Mike Elko inherited a lot of talent, but one that he developed the crap out of it. You could see that with Shamar Stewart being a first-round pick last year. And then I think, too, equally as importantly, he's brought in his own talent and developed that. Again, I don't have all the details in front of me, but I know Cassius Howell was a guy that, Mike Elko identified as a difference maker and turned him into a difference maker, and now he is going to be a very well-compensated professional football player. And so all it says to me is that, look, maybe we take it back to last season where, again, we just talked about from a basketball perspective, the computers and the metrics and the numbers, and everybody wanted to dismiss what A&M did on the football field because they largely did it against the bottom half of the SEC. But you destroyed LSU at LSU to the point that they could not bring back their coach. You destroyed a really good Missouri team at Missouri. And, there were some other games as well where it's like, again, I know everybody wants to poo-poo what A&M did because of the schedule. By the way, you beat a pretty good Notre Dame team, too. And so I'm just bringing it up to say is that, I think when I see that, it proves that A&M was a great team all year. The season didn't end how anybody wanted. By the way, the Miami loss, nobody wants to talk about losses in a positive light, but clearly Miami was a pretty good team. I think it just shows A&M was really one of the best teams in college football last year. And I know you know this, how I feel about Coach Elko. I don't think it's slowing down anytime soon. And I'm not surprised to hear there's that many guys headed to Indy on behalf of Texas A&M.
Hey, any thoughts on the Super Bowl this past weekend?
Yeah, I was on Fox Sports Radio's postgame, so I did 3 hours. So, I think I have a lot of thoughts. I mean, first of all, I think the Sam Darnold story is cool. I was not a Sam Darnold guy really until about the middle of this year. And I just think what he did, the perseverance, to 15, Nuño, 15 to do it. I know he had played well last year in Minnesota, but to do it on your fifth different team and to not, not give up on yourself. I know that's like a cliche thing to say, but I thought that story was cool. Listen, I thought Seattle was clearly the better team. And I know we do this in sports sometimes where we kind of project out and say, wow, that team's really built to, Seattle has a 38-year-old head coach and a quarterback that just turned that's about to turn 29 this year. Sam Darnold is still a baby. He just got into the league so young. So with that division, I don't think it's going to be easy to just, rip off, 3 Super Bowls in 4 years or anything like that. But they're a good team. They're a great team, actually. And I think as you can tell, I think they're actually really built for the long haul. Whether they get there or not, I don't know. But it was the game, frankly, I hate to say, went kind of about as I expected. But, great time to be a Seahawk, I guess.
Appreciate you, buddy. Thanks so much.
All right, we'll do it next week, my man. Thank you.
You got it. That was AT, Aaron Torres here on TexAgs Live. All right, if you're in the Bryan College Station area or the Brazos County or Brazos Valley, and you're in the market for a new vehicle, check out Caldwell Country Chevrolet. You owe it to yourself to check out the great selection there. Remember, it's on Highway 21 in Caldwell and online at CaldwellCountryChevrolet.com. They're stocked up and ready to deal on everything, and they have some awesome family SUVs there. They're locally owned. They have an Aggie alumni team who knows how to take care of customers. That's why every vehicle comes with that free oil change for life. That's real value that keeps paying you back year after year. Stop selling for big city prices and high-pressure tactics. Come see the difference at a hometown dealership. The lot is full, the team is ready, and they're ready to earn your business. It's about a 15-minute drive. The edge of Bryan to the beginnings of Caldwell. A short conversation away, but you'll see the difference when you step on the lot and do business with the good people at Caldwell Country Chevrolet. Highway 21 in Caldwell. Online, CaldwellCountryChevrolet.com.
What's up, everybody? I'm here to tell you about Fratella Italian Cafe. If anyone knows anything about Italian food, it's me, Billy Lucci. And Fratella has the best Italian food in BCS. Located at 3901 South Texas Avenue, Fratella is known for their handmade pasta dishes and feature lasagna, beef cannelloni, chicken parmesan, chicken fettuccine alfredo, a couple of my favorites, just a big old bowl of plain old spaghetti and some manicotti. Really recommend the manicotti. That's my go-to. And don't walk out of there without trying the fresh, piping hot breadsticks and the homemade in-house cheesecake, which is incredible. It's great for dining in, catering, gift cards, and even shipping, which they do nationwide. Fratella's is Aggie-owned and operated, and it's an official restaurant partner of Texas A&M Athletics. I'll see you there.
And we are back. It is TexAgs Live. We are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. We are in the Rollo Insurance Studio. And we're going to find out what's popping on TexAgs today. Get yourself a premium membership. It is certainly worth it because all of our great content is there on TexAgs.com. That's where Billy posts most of his news and insider information. Cooper, what do you have?
On TexAgs today's February 12th, a Thursday. We are really kicking off everything we got going on with softball already starting, baseball starting tomorrow, with basketball still underway. So we have Obi and Luke's articles on the basketball game last night against Missouri. We have Jason Howell doing a recruiting roundup around Texas. Later today, we have a really long, cool story that I saw Richard working on. It's baseball predictions from the TexAgs staff, a whole lot of different predictions about player stats around records. We also have 4 NIL interviews going on today. We have Gavin Grahovac, Caden Sorrell, and we got Ollie Deba and Tyree Adams. Lastly, we have women's basketball coverage against Kentucky tonight.
Hey, I want to read this text and maybe get yours and Nick's thoughts on it. David in H-Town. AT cooking stuff in the microwave during the interview is classic. Was he cooking? Could you hear? I had some headsets.
I didn't hear it.
I definitely heard it. My thought was it sounded like beeps from a laundry machine, like he was doing his laundry, but it could have very well have been microwave. So
I didn't hear it.
That's my favorite part about AT is trying to figure out where he is, what he's doing. So yeah.
In the news business, when you edit, there's a thing called nat sounds, where you want natural sounds when you're editing something, so like you can hear the roar of the crowd or what the pitcher says to the cat, like whatever. AT is a nat sounds guy. Whatever's going on in the wild, you can hear carjackings in Los Angeles, you hear little puppies running for their lives as the pit bull's coming after it. I have a pit bull, by the way. It's all good. And so he's actually a half. Anyway, when we come back on TexAgs Live, the great Logan Lee, then followed by the Very Average Fan Show on TexAgs. So during the break, how many different things did we talk about? We talked about basketball, making the tournament, wardrobe malfunction, you trying to get your mic on, the Nancy Guthrie case,
the ring
camera,
violation of privacy.
Right, like you guys. I mean, if they want to be a sponsor, we talk to them. But when I first saw that commercial for the Super Bowl, I was like, "Oh, that's a great idea." You can find one of our dogs died a couple years ago because she got out, but I was like, well, you can find your dogs? Everybody's got Ring cameras? And then I started reading what people were saying about it, like, invasion of privacy, bro.
I mean, I think all technology is an invasion of privacy.
They're listening right now.
Absolutely.
We're live. That's part of the reason. But if we weren't live, somebody's listening.
Like, my phone is listening.
We've done it on the show.
My truck is listening.
Like, give me something to say into my phone that it will show up on my Facebook later and then I can share. Give me something random.
I'm not going there.
My dog needs new toys.
My dog needs new toys. My dog needs new toys. My dog needs new toys. Alexa, no, it's not Alexa. Siri, I hope you heard me. All right, there we go. Hey, Logan Lee, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Strangely, I'm actually not doing that bad after last night's game. Because as I'm watching the game, tell me if you're on the same page. As I'm watching that game, I just didn't think we were going to win at halftime. Because we were up by 5, and I'm like, we've hit 1,000 3-pointers, barely up, and they're getting every rebound ever. Eventually, we're not going to hit 1,000 3-pointers, and they're still going to get every rebound. That's what it felt like to me. What did you think?
I thought the game would change in the second half. In regards to A&M wasn't going to hit, what was it, 11 threes in the first half, 10 threes in the first half. They weren't going to do that. But I did think that they were going to rebound a little better.
The second half was a little better, wasn't it?
And a little, but not in crucial times.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily fault A&M as you watch the screen right there. I don't necessarily fault A&M on the rebounding aspect. Because there were a number of rebounds that they were in position for. Missouri's just bigger and can jump higher and just took it out of the air. And what are you going to do at that point? I mean, Aggie's your biggest guy. That plays legit
he looks
minutes.
Small.
And he looks small compared to these guys. And I thought the zone played well for a time. I thought they were going to. I wish they would have switched it up a little more back and forth just to keep Missouri on its toes. But I thought that played fine. And I like the play call at the end of the game. Give it to Aggie. He's your most dependable guy.
Yep.
He's smaller but quicker and can handle the ball well enough against a big to get to the rim. He had been doing that all game. Thought the only question I have is Aggie tries to barrel through everybody's chest, get the foul and one, or go to the line.
Yep.
And on this last play, he tried to navigate around, tried not to get blocked instead of taking it through the defender's chest, which I get it to an extent. I understand there's the circumstances different. You're going for the game, so on and so forth. But man, just go through their chest like you've been doing the entire season.
Yeah.
Absorbing the contact, getting a shot off, maybe making it and the free throw. The play call was good.
The execution
just wasn't there.
So I think 85 points, I know 85 points should be enough to win a game. So the offense wasn't necessarily the problem. I would say the offense was a little bit of the problem because that 7-minute, whatever the scoring drought was, where all they were scoring on was free throws, and also like just getting crucial buckets it just seemed hard. You were hoping they would hit a 3.
I don't know. After watching the last couple of games, I'm thinking A&M needs to score in the 90s to win. And I don't know if it's because I've gotten accustomed to buckyball and what A&M was doing to its opponents the first 15 games of the season. But I felt like against Missouri, their offense was playing a little slower than normal. They got into more half-court sets that they're not as good in as they are in transition. And I thought they played a little slower than what we're accustomed to seeing. And you know, we're splitting hairs, 85 to 90. But if they score 90 points, you win.
You win that game.
And it changes the game. Throughout this stretch, this 5-game stretch, we were talking about, you know, we'd be happy with 2 and 3. I thought personally Georgia and Missouri were going to be the 2. I thought they were going to struggle against Alabama. Florida, they'd have to play perfect, and on the road at Vanderbilt was going to be extremely tough.
Mm-hmm.
They're 1 and 3 right now. They could go to Vandy, get 2 and 3, but that's extremely tough. And it's still possible.
Yeah.
And I'm still happy with where they're at. I don't. It stinks to be on a 3-game losing streak. But man, like if you look at the way that it all played out.
I'm sorry, man, but that matchup too. I just feel like Missouri and Florida in particular against this
big.
team. And there's other teams that are bigger. Every team's bigger than A&M. But that is like massive.
I know.
Versus like Herb Villachess from Fantasy Island Midget. Or am I allowed to say that? Little
No.
man. Sorry, I take that back. Little guy. Right? Like.
See, now your phone's going to start giving you ads.
Oh, I hope I get Herb Villachess. Sorry. Anyway.
I just, look, I thought A&M did what they were asked to do last night. And at one point, A&M had 15 rebounds and Missouri had 15 offensive rebounds. Thank you, Katie, for texting me that. She's on the road at Kentucky with the women's team, and she's texting me stats during the game, and I'm like, I'm watching it. I see it.
I feel it.
I get it. I'm here. But, you know, but I didn't recognize. A&M had a total of 15 rebounds. Missouri had 15 offensive rebounds. And part of that was the zone.
Mm-hmm.
Part of that was Missouri is just, I mean, they were just quicker to the ball. And then a handful of them where A&M was in good position. They just got out jumped.
Well, and I'll say this. I thought Missouri handled the press really well.
For sure. Their guards are good.
Their guards are really good.
It's questionable to me how they're on the bubble. You look at them and you're like,
that's a good team.
They beat Florida. Didn't they beat Kentucky? Maybe Kentucky wasn't playing well at that time. Kentucky's playing
It's still on
great
the resume.
now. But they beat Kentucky. They beat Florida. Their guards are big and their posts are 7 foot, 6'11", 6'10", whatever they are, all of them. That's a good team.
Yeah.
That's a really good team. You know what? During the game, and this just popped in my head, Jakari Lane needs more shots. He has been a good facilitator. He needs to look at the basket maybe just a handful more times. Give him an extra 3 or 4 shots.
Yeah.
And he'll change the game. If he were, and I was talking earlier this morning with a friend, if he were 6'3", I would have given him the ball in the last possession. Let him go do his thing. But because he's
my size,
5'11", 6 foot, maybe
5'11",
5'11",
yeah,
like that's a difference maker when you got a guard who is 25 pounds heavier and 6 inches taller.
You talked about the 90 points being what this team needs to score at. You know, you can do this with every tight game. You can find a play or two that go, but like I'm thinking of 2 instances in particular. And one of those is that 3 that Barrett hit that was just stupid.
Yes.
Okay, it hurt my heart to see that. Like I wanted to punch somebody. Right, like that. Don't hit that. Like, and he was, by the way, very good player.
Yeah.
A little cocky in a
yeah,
which I appreciate.
I'm okay with it.
He was awesome. He was really good. That, and then missing a couple free throws. Right,
2 free throws
for a team that hit a lot of free throws. Right, like, but I look at those 5 points. I mean, that's more than the difference in the game. But those feel like that shouldn't happen and that shouldn't happen.
There are, I completely agree. However, I'll play devil's advocate. Marcus Hill banked in a 3.
Oh yeah,
like that's tip.
But I like him, so that's different.
But he's on
our team.
But he's on our team.
Yeah, so we're not going to talk about that.
It's absolutely okay.
Yeah, in fact, it's expected.
But I think moving.
And Jamie Vincent in a 3.
Yeah, but hold on. From the top of the key. And his follow-through looked good.
I thought he was a 3-point shooter when I saw that.
It looked good. That wasn't just a, I'm going to throw it up as a prayer.
Yeah.
There's still 15 seconds on the shot clock, and I'm firing this thing up because Bucky's got confidence in everybody shooting.
I like that was Dirk shooting, by the way. I don't like center shooting threes.
I don't either.
Because I grew up in the 80s, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? I don't like it. But that was a pretty shot.
I'm telling you, when they showed when he shot it, I initially went like, he made it, and I was still like, okay, he made it, but don't do it again. They showed it on the replay. His follow through was perfect.
Oh,
I was like,
great.
oh, he's been working on that.
Yeah, he's been working on the proper shot in there.
By the way, I'm gonna have to stay here. I may not get any work done.
Can you break the record?
Y'all
today?
have Richard Zane letting y'all lead the scoreboard.
I haven't tried to play yet because I play defense, so I don't go there.
Well, maybe you should play defense on Zane next time.
I got no problem.
He's on the
with that.
leaderboard.
Yeah, just get 102 points and be done with it.
No, he said he has 104.
Oh, okay, 105 then.
Yeah,
105.
That's what I told him. I'm coming in. 105 is the record.
They had a
after
text
today.
A text came in about Federico asking why he's not playing more. Let me take a stab at it, okay?
Okay.
It doesn't look like he keeps up with the system.
Mm-mm.
Is that a fair?
Absolutely.
He came in a couple times yesterday, and for his length and his wingspan. But I feel like for this system, he's not as fast and not as fluid running it. Is that a fair assessment so far?
Agreed. Okay. I also think that for his size, he's not physical enough. He gets pushed around a lot. He's super thin, and so if you're going to be super thin and 6'11", then you need to be explosive off the ground. You need to be able to block shots and grab rebounds, and he hasn't proven that he can do that. Even on the perimeter, if you're that big, you should be able to switch and guard just because of your wingspan. Even if you have to play 6 feet off of a guard, your wingspan should be able to take care of it.
Yeah.
He hasn't shown that. I hope he does because they need him. They
needed him yesterday. Like if they could rely on him more, he could have made a difference because of his size.
But if you look at Missouri's 7-footer, super thin, but he played the last possession of the first half that he got a tip on Ruben throwing the inbounds pass, and that's the only possession he played. It's hard to get guys in when you have someone like Aggie or you have a Zach Clements who can rotate into that size and help out. Fetty's got to bring something to the table, and what he can bring to the table is rebounding and shot blocking. But if he can't bring that to the table, he's not going to have much time.
Let's talk about something that I don't think the numbers tell the true story. Both teams had 9 turnovers. Okay, the points on turnovers for Missouri was significantly higher than A&M. That's one part of it. The other part was I thought A&M had some especially in the first 5 minutes of the game, they had those 3 real quick turnovers.
Yeah.
And I know it's early in the game and it's played differently throughout, but I found A&M's turnovers to be, I don't know, just not the way they play. In the first few minutes, it felt like they were just forcing things.
So the very first possession was a turnover.
That's right.
A backdoor bounce pass that got tipped and taken. I thought that was a great look. The pass just wasn't crisp. It was one of those where they know it's coming, and he kind of hesitated, and he saw it, and then he was like, "Oh, he's open. I got to make the pass."
Right.
And he was a split second too late, and that's where the turnover came. I thought all of the turnovers you're talking about early in the game, 2 of them were good looks, just late, and that happens at times. I'm glad it didn't happen at the end of the game, but I wish it also didn't happen at the beginning of the game. Maybe it changed something. I don't know. I don't think I'm not too concerned with the turnovers. You know what I'm really concerned with moving forward? The fouls. I think the officiating is getting used to A&M, and they're watching film. For example, Marcus Hill in the backcourt defending. I mean, he's grabbing these guys.
He is.
And he always does that, and he always has done that. But there's been so much going on that the refs haven't seen it. But now they're honing in on it, and they're going to have to adjust a little.
Yeah.
And I don't fault them because you got a guy who's 4 inches taller than you. You've got to do something.
Yeah, but I think there were a couple calls that they made on one end for Missouri that they weren't making on the other end. In fact, at one point, Bucky's like, dude, you got to call the foul here too.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. But I think...
But your point is the aggressive...
Officiating officials, they're human, and they see one and they're like, well, that wasn't as egregious as this. I'm going to call this. It's not as noticeable. I don't know. You get caught up in a 40-minute game, and I mean, A&M was in, or Missouri was in the bonus with 14 minutes and 50 seconds left in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
I think it took, 16 minutes, 14 minutes in the first half for Missouri to get its first foul?
That was ridiculous.
There's a little lopsidedness there. Like,
they had 2 all the first half, right?
I don't 2 or 3, but it took. I think it took 14 minutes of game time. For the first foul to be called on Missouri.
You know, the things that I thought could be the difference for A&M was Missouri turns the ball over a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't. They were under their average by 2 or 3. I think they were almost 12 a game. They had how many did they have? 9 in the game? So I
think they had 9.
Right. I thought that was going to be the case. I also thought that Missouri would eventually get tired because A&M plays at this frenetic pace.
But A&M didn't play at that pace.
They didn't. Yeah.
At least I don't.
They did at times, but and I also think the Missouri guards were. Let's go. Like, we could do this all day too.
The Missouri guards are good, and I thought they handled the pressure well. And that is now 2 games in a row, Florida and Missouri, and really, to be honest, Alabama, they handled the pressure well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they took a couple dribbles, 2 passes, corner 3.
Yeah.
Every time they needed it, with the shot clock at 25. So Alabama was playing fast. I thought the pace of the game for Alabama in the Alabama game is what A&M needs to be. Florida, they weren't there because Florida broke the press too easily. And Missouri, it wasn't that quick of a pace. And I think that's just because the Missouri guards did a good job of controlling the tempo on their offensive end, and it didn't allow A&M to get in a rhythm. Now is the point where all teams have a lot of film against SEC opponents, and you're going to have to make adjustments. It can't just be the same thing every single time. You have to make adjustments. And my worry is the A&M players, they've been playing this style because they've been learning it the whole time.
Yeah.
It's hard to adjust off of something you just learned. And so can they make those adjustments? Can Bucky implement something else that helps his team get a half second on a 3 for Ruben to set his feet a little more? Ruben's been struggling because everybody's locked in on him. Hey, he's a shooter, catch and shoot. Make him close out, make him put it on the floor, get him out of his rhythm. How are they going to get him open? Ryland's done a good job. Makes some crazy fouls sometimes and has some crazy outbursts, but you take that because he's been playing well. How does Bucky get his team to adjust from here now that the entire SEC has, 11 games of film on you?
Yeah. Well, going back to the magic number of 11 wins, I was hoping they'd be a game closer to that right now.
Yeah.
But they're at 7. Vandy, they're banged up too, but that's going to be hard.
Yep.
On the road anywhere is going to be hard, right?
Especially at Vandy.
Right? So you got that. Nick, if you can put up the schedule, just
how much do we have left?
If you were to say these are, I thought Missouri was going to be a win. So now you got to find a win somewhere else. That's not there. Ole Miss, I don't know how big they are. They've struggled a little bit, but these games all come down to a possession or 2.
Yeah.
At Oklahoma, that was a tight game. Can you beat them on the road? Arkansas, okay. All right, that's good. That's a good team. I don't know if you know that. Texas, that game's going to come down to the wire too.
Rivalry, any rivalry game.
Freaking LSU's a rivalry, but not as much. But it's on the road, so where do they have the 4 wins the rest of the way if the magic number is 11?
I mean, I don't know if the magic number is 11, because I think if they play well and they get 10 wins, they could possibly be in. I don't know. You're looking at me like
I would prefer they're in than possibly be in because I hate sweating it on Selection Sunday. But I see your point.
I mean, Nuño.
Yeah, I know.
How many total wins did you expect in conference play this year before the season started?
8.
8?
Yeah.
I think I said 7 or 8 is what it should be.
They're about to eclipse that.
Yeah.
Hopefully Saturday.
Now,
or get there.
It's fun to be able to move the goalpost and say, hey, they've done this. So maybe they can do this now. And maybe it can be we were talking about, if you're a bubble team and you sneak into the tournament, that is ceiling for this team. Well,
they're still there.
The ceiling has changed though. I think we have seen what they can do. Now we have to see them grow and develop even more.
Yeah.
And if they don't make the tournament, I'll be disappointed. If they win 9 or 10 games in conference, I'm ecstatic. That is a heck of a season. That's one of the best coaching jobs in the SEC. Because no one in their right mind said, Bucky's going to come in here with 0 players. And I say 0 because Chris McDermott, he was here, but he never met Bucky. He didn't play this style. He went from buzz ball to Bucky ball. Night and day.
Couldn't be any different.
Couldn't be any more different. 0 players to in 2 months has a full roster and is now sitting at what, 3rd in the SEC? I'm on board. I'm on board with it all.
Logan, I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
When it comes to financial decisions, having the right advisor makes all the difference in the world, and Aggie-owned Paragon Financial Advisors are an independent fiduciary firm working with clients across Texas focused on advice, not commissions or sales quotas. Their team includes 18 professionals, 8 CFPs, a CFA, and the level of experience helps ensure that your plan is built with care, clarity, and long-term perspective. Visit paragon-adv.com or call them up 979-693-3907 to schedule your free consultation today. It is Paragon Financial Advisors, integrity, expertise, and trust. Paragon Financial Advisors. And we're back. No MMA talk here. It is time for everyone's favorite average segment we call The Fan Show. Presented by Prize Picks, the largest independently daily fantasy sports platform in North America. It is you versus the stats. Pick more than or less than 2 to 6 player stat projections. Watch the winnings roll. Go to prizepicks.com/TexAgs. Roy May, hello.
What's going on, man?
Dr. Chad, hello.
Hey.
Mr. Matt, how are you?
Good morning, buddy.
We didn't know which way to go there.
Yeah, I did.
Let's go to the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. Cooper, you going to ask the hardest question of the day.
I almost always forget it, but I remember it today. I'm going to ask Roy because I like his pink shirt.
Chad hasn't been here in a year. Thanks for going with Roy
I'm
first.
sorry. But I like his pink shirt. So I'm going to ask Roy, what's on your mind?
My U.S. Open shirt.
It's a good shirt.
Yeah, I like it. What's on my mind? Probably the same thing that's on everybody else's mind is it's diamond season. Softball already kicked off. Baseball, we're all kind of feels like kind of a cautious optimism kind of thing. I don't think anybody really knows what the roster's going to look like other than maybe Bronny. But just excited. I love, it's kind of springtime, coming out of the cold weather. But upset about last night, man. It's just, we talked about this 2 weeks ago because I missed last week. Coming up on that 5-game stretch, what we thought would be great, what we'd be okay with, and then what might sound some alarm bells. Now going 2 and 3 is going to be a tall task because you figured you were going to sneak one of those. Almost got Bama on the road. That was a great game.
Yep.
But then last night, Missouri just kind of imploded is what it felt like.
Yeah.
It felt like I wasn't really necessarily watching Bucky-ball in the second half. I don't know if they were tired or just they were playing cautious or it was weird. And the officiating, wasn't great. But for us to only turn them over 9 times, I thought was one of the biggest storylines of the game because they were averaging like 18.2 turnovers per game. And that's just what they do. Like they turn the ball over, they're a turnover machine, and we couldn't turn them over. And that's one thing that we have to do. That's one of the tenets of Bucky-balls. You got to turn the guys over. So just kind of upsetting to see that. Hopefully they can bounce back next game. But really looking forward to Friday, opening day. And in the end, and softball, the way Tricia Ford scheduled non-conference, I love it. It's just so tough. I'm going to Clearwater this weekend. Got two top 25 teams in the field, and then we'll be going, out to the West Coast.
You're doing all that?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay. I thought you said weird. I was like,
I'd love to.
Collective us.
Wow,
Didn't it sound like he was going?
It did sound like you were all in.
We're going. I'm like, wow, you're a super fan.
No, I'd love to. But just the teams that she has scheduled, Oregon and Duke. The Tech game was a great game. Just kind of a heartbreaker at the end. Once again, I forgot that she comes in on Wednesday. So I was watching and I was like, crap.
You'll be here one
day. I'm going to meet her one of these days.
Dr. Chad?
Roy kind of covered the whole thing. I think I was talking with OB actually in the lobby about our men's team, and you're right. The second half just didn't seem like we were playing our ball. I think just maybe with the hangover of the last 2 games, maybe a little cautious. But we get down 8 points, we come back. I'm thinking, okay, we found our rhythm. Here we go. But then those Missouri, kudos to the coach calling that timeout on that last possession for them to get the alley-oop. I mean, that was it was just unfortunate. But Missouri's a really good team, and I hate that McKenzie's out for the season. I think that's kind of our that depth piece because it seems like at the end of the game, what was it against Alabama? We had Dominguez in, and then now he wasn't on the court the last few minutes, and I think Coach Bucky's trying to find where's that last few minutes. What's that team? What's that roster look like? But it's still a really strong season. I mean, we are, 24 games in. I think our guys are getting tired. I mean, we play at such a pace. It could be where we played some really tough games, but I still feel good about our season. But back to baseball, we got softball going. I'm excited about track and field. I mean, last year, we really showcased, Coach Henry said, I'm not done yet. We brought in some great recruits. We're really dominating these early, pretty much practice meets. So I'm excited to see what we're going to do for indoor for track. Spring is upon us, and baseball. You're right. Just being cautious. We know what happened last year, but we got the team together. I'm just excited to see our team play, and tennis. Man, tennis is really good.
Chad, I might push back a little bit about the first half, and you all may disagree with me. I don't even think we were playing our game in the first half. I just think we hit threes, right? Still felt like you couldn't drive on that team. It still felt like they were getting out-rebounded. It just, a lot of the threes they hit in the first half, I was like, maybe that one too? Like, how do they, it just felt like they're so hot. what was that game, NBA Live, where you'd get high?
He's just heating up. He's on
yeah,
fire.
He's heating up. That's what it felt like. But I never felt comfortable. Ronnie, what's on your mind?
I mean, we've talked about the warts of this team from the beginning, and they've played above those warts, and that's been size. I mean, and that's shown up more in the last 2 games than any other games of the season. I mean, Florida was just such a. You knew that, like Logan said, we would have to have played perfect to beat them because they're just so big, and not only are they just big, but they are talented down low. I mean, and the commentator kept going, "Oh, A&M's getting good shots. They're just not making it." No, we weren't. I mean, you got to give Florida a lot of credit. They contested everything in that game, and every time we tried to go to the lane, it was a debacle in that game.
We picked a bad night to have a bad night.
Well, yeah, we picked a real bad. But then again,
Can't start 1 for 22.
I think we played better, obviously, last night, but still, the warts still show up. I mean, the lack of size and the lack of rebounding and is just you have to hit to beat these types of teams. We have to hit our shots.
Yeah,
we have to hit those threes and I agree with Roy. I think we are getting a little tired. They do seem like they're a little gassed. I mean, they do play a style of basketball that no one else does, and you're going. I mean, this is year 1, and he had such a short window to get everything prepared, and so some of those are showing up, and so. Yeah, it's the basketball is tough, but like he said, if you go 2 and 3 in the stretch, that's still pretty good.
Yep.
But possibly I wouldn't say our toughest. I'd easily say Vanderbilt could be the best team in the SEC, but from a matchup standpoint, they're a little bit better matchup for us than Florida was.
And Missouri.
I mean, those are just such big teams that genuinely are kind of our kryptonite, having that kind of size. So
the only thing that I find upsetting sometimes when I'm watching is it doesn't feel like a full court press. It's just kind of a full court defense. And like if they break the press on you like 5 or 6 times in a row, like you got to adjust. Like if you still want to press, adjust the press. Like, but consecutively, like just smoking your press and getting easy layups. I mean, a couple times the Missouri players were cherry picking, but I mean, just not getting back on defense. But when you set up the press and you consistently like 5, 6 times in a row, they just completely, thrash your press. Like you got to adjust something.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll hit a break here. By the way, David Edmonds says NBA Jam.
Yeah, it was NBA Jam.
There you go.
NBA Jam.
Done. Is that even before your time? You know about that game?
Come on now.
How did you know? You're
I was born in the 1900s. Just like the rest of us.
NBA Jam was crushed. I played NBA Jam.
No,
like the original?
Stay over there.
I did on an arcade,
young
but
guy.
they made other versions, but I played it.
They made later versions.
Like the iconic sports video games of all time. Tecmo Bowl.
Double dribble.
Double
dribble.
NFL Blitz.
Never heard of that.
I played NFL Blitz too.
I don't play.
Nintendo 64.
We played Tecmo Bowl, 10-yard fight, double dribble.
They have TVs when you were.
Yeah, barely.
He's younger than me.
We didn't have remotes yet, though.
Did you or someone you know graduate from A&M within the last 12 years? Are you leading by example in business or in service? Then the Association of Former Students would like to invite you to nominate yourself or someone that you know for the 12 under 12. Each year, the association recognizes a dozen Aggies who have graduated within the last 12 years for their business accomplishments, civic or military service, philanthropic efforts, and outstanding representation of A&M's core values of excellence, integrity, leadership, loyalty, respect, and selfless service. Previous year honorees have included leaders in business, higher education, architects, petroleum engineers, nonprofit execs, physicians, veterans, and members of the U.S. Armed Forces. 2026 nominations close on Saturday, February 28th, so be sure to submit your nomination soon. To learn more about the recognition and submit a nomination, visit tx.ag/12 under 12 nominations. And we're back. TexAgs Live, the fan show presented by Prize Picks. So, unfortunately, I found out yesterday the passing of James Vanderbeek, and I was reminded that OB was in Varsity Blues, and I think he even tweeted about James being very nice. I didn't know. Did you know that homeboy over here was in that movie as well?
Yeah.
You were in the movie.
Yeah. So it's funny.
It was Bud Kilmer.
So a couple years ago, Gabe had Andy Staples was doing his top football movies of all time, and he was talking to him. I guess it was kind of like how y'all. And he said, "Hey, I know two guys that were in it." And so me and OB both went on the Andy Staples show and told our experiences about Varsity Blues. I can't believe you didn't know this story.
I don't.
So, all right, I'll make this.
I'm sorry we haven't all Googled the life of Matt Brown.
Sorry, it's pretty impressive. It's pretty, hey, I'm kind of a big deal. No, so, I don't know, so this was the summer of 97. So I just graduated high school, and we find out they're doing this, they're filming a movie over in Taylor, or in the Austin area, but mainly in Taylor. They're like, hey, they need people to be football players.
Yeah.
Of course, at the time, I'm 6'4", but I'm 170 pounds soaking wet. So I'm scrawny. But I'm like, all right, we'll go check it out. So Vios went over there, and we go in, and we meet. I remember walking into this room, and I mean, they had guys that actually played college football.
Right.
Like a bunch of the guys that played at Southwest, or I guess Texas State now. They're all in there, and I'm like, all right, I don't look like these people. So I see this lady. I was like, hey, do y'all need a water boy or anything? And they're like, yeah. So we need extras, and so they got my name, and then they called us, and then for 2 straight weeks we went, and I was there every day for 2 straight weeks. Now you can only see me in the pep rally scene. You can see us in the crowd.
Okay.
But we would go for what they called the early morning practice scenes.
Yeah.
And my buddy Brian Stauffer, who's also unfortunately passed, rest in peace to him as well. He and I drove up one morning, and he had a big F-250, big, Texas out truck, right? And they're like, "Oh, that's great. Can we park this next to the field, maybe for a shot?" And you can see his truck in the movie. You don't see us for that part. But something I found out about movies is you sit around a lot. It's very boring, especially for people with ADD like me. So I don't remember that part being fun. But I mean, I threw the football with John Voight, did a bunch of stuff, met all the guys. But our one moment with Vanderbeek, we're sitting there one morning, and we're sitting on and they made us pull in front.
And he was
ways.
a big star at that time, right?
But I didn't know who he was. I'd never seen Dawson's Creek. Dawson's Creek was still kind of coming out, so we did not know who he was.
Okay.
But we're sitting on the brush guard of his truck, and he comes walking up, and he just kind of stands there next to us. I didn't know who he was, but he was in full pads.
Yeah.
And he said, so, what do you guys do for fun here in Texas? And I was like, are you not from Texas? He's like, no, I'm from Wisconsin, wherever he's from. And we just sit and talk to him. And while we're talking to him, now my voice, my accent is cleaned up since I've moved here, but my Rockdale roots, I had a pretty thick country drawl. It comes out sometimes, you can hear it. And we're sitting there talking to him, and he would repeat back to us what we would say. Like trying to
method acting,
mimic our accent. It was the weirdest thing. And my buddy Brian was a world's classic smart aleck, right? So he's kind of, and I guess Vanderbeek's not picking up on his sarcasm. He's kind of being a jerk to him a little bit. But so it was super nice in that one little exchange with us. And then how I don't want your life. I'm afraid I might have to take credit for that.
You might be the one.
I might be the I don't want your life guy. Because he sat there and mimicked this, and but yeah, I mean, our little time with him, he was very, very, very nice. OB's got a whole other story. I can't tell that one on the air, but
and how was John Voight?
John Voight was great.
Yeah,
John Voight, I sat there and threw the football with him, and he hummed one at me, and I'm like, so I hummed it back at him. That old man could chunk a football. He was
probably 48 in that movie.
He had a cannon of an arm. And I'll give one little other quick note that was really cool. They all had stunt doubles. So Vanderbeek's stunt double was Peter Gardier. So it was Pete Gardier that played at Texas. And Paul Walker's stunt double was Scott Frost. And they were the guys that would come out. So they'd have Vanderbeek run a play, and he'd chunk the ball maybe 20 yards. And then they'd have Gardier come out and just hum a 60-yarder on a rope, And so they all had stunt doubles except Scott Kahn. Scott Kahn played receiver in high school, and so he was out there catching every route, every pass, every tackle. He was getting lit up too in a couple of them.
Yeah,
because he's out there playing with real college football players. And so I've got a lot of really cool stories about it. But
did you end up buying John Voight's car?
No. I did see Angelina Jolie. She showed up one morning. And
Is that right?
She was still not famous yet. I do
John
remember
Boyd
looking at her.
was 59.
Oh, yeah. He could hum it.
So he was not 48, so we don't have to feel bad about where we are.
No, dude, I'm telling you, that old man had a cannon of an arm.
Oh, man. He's an obese age. Thanks.
Well, I mean, he's an old man now, but so.
And he was old then.
But yeah, now Billy Bob and the guy that played Billy Bob and Paul Walker and Vanderbeek are all passed on. It's really strange.
All right, we'll hit a break. We'll do some baseball talk on the other side. It's TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelry. Show brought to you by Prize Picks. Hey friends, David Nuño here for Prize Picks. They're back on TexAgs, prizepicks.com/TexAgs. Use the code TexAgs to get $50 once you play in $5 lineups. And Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Football season's here, basketball coming up, baseball, you name it. You go to prizepicks.com/TexAgs and start having some fun watching sports, making some money on there. And you can play Prize Picks in over 40 states, including California and Texas. Remember, they'll give you $50 in lineups once you play $5 lineups on Prize Picks. And they have the new thing. It's called It's Good to Be Right campaign, and they're kicking off the upcoming NFL season with their bold new campaign, It's Good to Be Right. The seasonal long push celebrates the thrills of getting it right, from the perfect prediction to winning your Prize Picks lineups. Prize Picks is good to be right. All right, we're talking about Burlebo, the heart of Texas, more than an outdoor lifestyle brand. It's products created with you in mind. Currently, I'm wearing the performance polo, the Texas Maroon and Gray. If you look into it, you've got the state of Texas in gray, and you also got it in maroon. It's one of their highest, most popular sales that they have there. It is really nice. Comfort and versatility. You can wear it in any situation. Quick drying, fits the size. But Burlebo, they're rooted in tradition, fueled by passion for the outdoors, designs high-quality apparel that works just as hard as you do. So whether you're hitting a workout, enjoying a day of fishing, or cheering on your favorite college team, their gear is made for the athlete, the outdoorsman, and the everyday adventure. And it's really nice. I wore this one to church the other day. People talked about it. Really, my kids were like, "Yeah, Dad, you look pretty good today." From athletic shorts to your favorite go-to tees and performance hoodies, they have everything you want. Check out burlebo.com and find your new favorite gear. It's Burlebo for the athlete, for the outdoors, and for the family. Back. We call this the Fan Show, brought to you by Prize Picks. Dr. Chad, what are your expectations for baseball?
I don't know. I think we'll be we're going to finish top 4 in the SEC.
That sounds like you know.
That's my. Well, yeah, we're good. Now we got the schedule. What are the odds? I need to put some money down then. Jeez. Well, I think Tennessee's too high. I think they're not taking
rookie head coach.
Yes, losing their coach. That's going to be big. Texas. I like that. It's better than not being number 1. I'll tell you that. You don't want to come in number 1. See what you're going to do, Arkansas.
They're going to be really
good.
Roy, what do you think?
I expect us to be better than what everybody's expecting us to be, right?
So that's a postseason team.
Yeah, I was talking about this earlier this week. A&M baseball, the history, and I know that history doesn't mean you deserve anything, but the history of this program, the support of this program, the facilities that we're going to have, the fan support of this program, which is the best in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
If we miss a regional, it should be once every 10 to 15 years. This should be a postseason team every single year. And I get that we're in the SEC and that's tough, but that goes back into the same thing like the SEC basketball last year. Like, You didn't have to win that many games because the league was so deep.
Yep.
So my expectation of Texas A&M baseball is to make a regional every year. Maybe not even host. I get that. But we should be in a regional every single year. We're Texas A&M baseball. So my expectation is postseason baseball. Absolutely. And I think I could see top five of the SEC, maybe top 5.
Yep.
5 to 7.
I mean, it's definitely not a lack of talent. I mean, we've got some absolute studs over there. I mean, we've got what did we say earlier? 3 first-rounders, potential first-rounders on this roster right now as it sits. And I know it sounds crazy, but I don't mind being number 25. I like that chip on the shoulder. I hope that, makes some people mad. I hope they're like, you know what? I get what happened last year, but this is still a team that was one out away from a national championship, 2 years ago. And with a lot of that same, still a lot of those same players on this roster, plus some new mixed in really good talent, a second year in a new system. I like the idea of it. I hope that chip on the shoulder makes them mad and gets them to focus. But we're in the absolute gauntlet of the SEC. I mean, looking at those teams, you're going, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, SEC baseball is, look, we talk about SEC football being something, especially all those years, especially in the last decade or so, but nothing like what SEC baseball is. SEC baseball is just an insane gauntlet.
That graphic that Nick had up there of the pitchers is what the season comes down to, because I think the offense is going to be fine, right?
Yes.
More than fine. And again, last year, the offense struggled a little bit, but how could they not struggle with some of the issues that they had? So I expect the offense to be great, and I don't know enough about what Shane's going to feel like after missing so much time. I think Weston Moss is ready to take the next step, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Aiden Sims does.
Well, from what I've heard, there's been a slight culture shift. It's just things, a little bit different atmosphere inside the clubhouse, and I'm excited for it. I mean, I'm always excited for baseball season. I wore my baseball cap today just for it. But yeah, I'm with you. It's on the mound.
And any thoughts on Aggie women's basketball? They got a big win against Alabama, and they've got another opportunity this weekend.
Yeah, I saw that. That kind of jumped out of nowhere, quite frankly. Yeah. This was one of those. I think we had a conversation with Evangelist months ago, and the over/under for Maryland basketball conference wins was 2.5. Well, look what they've done all of a sudden. Mm-hmm. Now they've won 2 in a row. So. I mean, can't you turn it around? I don't know, man. I don't know. Was that just a blip? It's one of those things.
Yeah, well, I'm going to add on to that because I went to the South Carolina game, and I thought, man, we played South Carolina is a monster, but we played them close, and I thought, well, because
maybe there's something there.
Because the next game, South Carolina beat they beat them by 70 points, and I can imagine the coach, she was probably thinking, what are we doing? But you're right. 2 in a row. That was a big win. Was not expected.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Well, we got a minute and a half left. Browning, I know you'll have an opinion on this. 13 Aggies going to the combine.
I mean, I love it. I love it from the idea of, you look at these kids when they come in, when that is their dream. Right. They all want to play in the NFL, and you're actually able to put that on paper and go, look, this is what we've done. This is what we did this year. This is the potential of playing at Texas A&M. This is, and again, we love watching these guys. I mean, look what Miles did this year, right? I mean, for us as A&M fans, we're able to watch these guys and cheer for them years into the future. And so, with guys like Vaughn and Mike and Mike Evans and Miles and these guys that they make us proud. I mean, they're true Aggies, and we've got a new batch going through, and hopefully every one of them will be successful. I know the odds don't really support that, but there's some guys that could really do some amazing things, and hopefully, like this past Super Bowl, see a lot of success out of them. So
it's an indicator of a good program.
I think getting 7 to 8 guys and beyond every year,
right,
tells you if you're a college football playoff contender. Not necessarily, because I read off the list of a bunch of teams that Florida was on there with within the top 10 of program setting guys. But if you get north of 8, I think you are a college football playoff for sure contender and probably in it.
You're truly developing players.
Yeah. And recruits and portal players see this.
Yep.
Gentlemen, thank you very much.
Yes,
appreciate you guys. A little shorter version of the show. Yeah. It was good.
Fine.
Tomorrow on the program, this is what I can tell you. We've got, let's see, we got the baseball bunch. We've got the Luke Evangelist segment, which is sometimes good. and we've got Billy Lucci for an hour. So we got a lot of good stuff going on. All right, that's going to do it for TexAgs Live here on a Thursday. We'll see you mañana.